Hello, good evening, and welcome to Learning Netrunner with System Gateway and Team Squared. And I remembered it all in one sentence. Hooray!
Nailed it. 5 weeks in and you got it down pat. Look at that.
And my name's Mark, aka MCG, and I'll be trying to hold this whole thing together. But who are these other people, and which runner faction or corporation do they best identify with, and why?
Well, I'm Sharon, and I best identify with Wayland Corporation because I think they're the best at everything, even corporate manslaughter.
Corporate manslaughter.
It's intentional, Dave.
They are certainly the best at that. That is, you've got their number.
My name's Dave, and I personally identify with whatever corporation or runner is at the top of the meta at the moment, because I don't like to think hard.
Yes.
Although
Okay.
Annex will do, yeah. Annex.
Well, Anarch is sort of ahead of the runner meta at the moment.
It is.
Oh, we've lost Sarah. Dave, do you want to put Sharon back in view?
Brilliant. Throw Sharon in the middle. There we go.
Seamless. Yeah, so Anarch and Wayland. Okay, fair enough. Oh, we're going in, out, in, out. This is all part of the show, everyone. We're just keeping you on your toes. No need to adjust your set.
I got this covered. Like this. It's like
Just to make things more exciting.
I control the horizontal and the vertical.
It's impressive. I'm Sarah and I'm alive, which I think is important. And I don't care which runner, specific to IDs or factions, but I would always be a runner because down with corporations.
Sure.
And down with Sharon and her murderous intent. Sharon's on mute, but it's good because it means that her evil corporation manslaughter ways can't be voiced.
Look, it was an accident, not intentional.
Wait, the muting or your manslaughter?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter which.
Well, the families would say yes. Anyway, that's why I'm a runner, but also give me your money.
In the standard card pool, in Anarchs, actually, it's not a corporation card, is an event called Mining Accident, and it's where you frame a corporation for causing a mining accident that earns them a bad publicity. And I don't think you know what bad publicity is yet, but we'll come on to that later. But there is lots of meme content there about how putting newspapers together with these terrible stories in them. Not that newspapers will probably exist in the future, but you also, when you play that card, it's also expected that you throw your hands up and say, "There's been a terrible accident." So, following your example, Sharon, you're going to play retribution on someone, blow up all their programs, or kill them, and then say, "Oh, there's been a terrible accident."
I will keep that in mind.
Rude.
Who doesn't already do that?
Yeah.
How often do I get to play retribution? It's so uncommon. Dave has just decided he's the tag master. He's playing tag, trying to get all the tags.
System
but we saw last week that was not always the way forward, didn't we?
Yeah, I know. I got
Medium.
tagged and punished.
Yeah, medium. Yeah, fortunately, it's not so terrible. Lashback wise. Yeah. Oh.
Well, this week I've been digging more into the analytics, pretending to know what we're talking about on this here streaming stuff. Not really increased a lot of viewers here on Twitch, but on the YouTubes now, we are up to 71 subscribers, which is
really exciting.
Yeah, it's incredible. So,
And 70 of
Poor
them are
souls.
still our mums.
Yeah. Thanks, Mum.
yeah,
And mum, and mum,
And
mum.
Well, and the episode 1 has now had well over 600 views, and I reckon at least 20 of them are not bots. So,
No, that was my dad trying to work out how to press the streaming button. He's really
yes, but the interesting statistic is that apparently one of our viewers watches for an average of 13 minutes. So seeing as these streams are 3 hours long,
It's
we're
longer
not
than I
making
do.
the best first impression.
In all fairness, I clock out as well after 13 minutes. What time are we up to already?
I was going to say, I'm about to leave a week. No, 7
12
minutes.
minutes. Right, so what's the plan for today, Mr. G?
Okay, well, let's swing over to recap mode.
We would, but Dave's lost.
You mean recap mode?
Yes. Okay. So, in over the last couple of weeks, we've stepped away from the predefined starter decks and booster decks and started putting some ideas together of our own. And Sharon, I think you at one point, probably off stream, asked me, do they provide you with deck lists for the new decks as you move forward? And the answer is no. Basically, after you've gone past the booster deck, you get instructions for how deck building works, and then told to go off and build your own decks. Now, we didn't jump to that straight away, but what we've hopefully been covering is some of the thought process that we might put into building a deck. So in week 3, which is the cards on the screen at the moment, we looked at some of the synergies between cards. So Lou wants to be trashing things, Carnivore helps you trash things. Cookbook makes viruses better. Therefore, if you're playing any virus, you want to put some viruses in there to benefit from it. Then we got into Sharon's specialist area of tags, and we looked at
tags first.
We looked at putting tags in a deck with things like Public Trail and Funhouse, and then we had the cards that will punish those tags through Retribution and Orbital Superiority. So if you have a tagging strategy, you are discouraging people from going tag me, because there hopefully will be repercussions eventually. And we've seen how that can go both ways. And also we saw with Built to Last being its ability being about advancing things. Well, obviously that's a good thing, because there are lots of things you want to advance, whether they be traps or agendas, or in the case of Pharos, an advanceable piece of ice as well.
It's pretty good.
Then we moved on.
Oh, it's pretty good for hiding things as well. Like advancing things can be suspicious, but yeah, that one seemed to help with hiding suspicions a little bit, and so it gave you a bit of a mental edge as well.
Yeah. So those decks had some synergies to think about, but they were also similar to the booster deck, so some of the gameplay was quite similar. So then last week we moved on to actually designing a deck close to what you would do from an optimal perspective. So we flick onto the next slide for us, Dave. This is Zaya, and we spoke about how Zaya's ability wants you to be targeting HQ and R&D, so that gives you a idea for what you might want to put into this deck. So the first thing that went into this deck was that we put Jailbreak in, we put Docklands Pass in, we put Conduit in, and that way we're increasing the number of cards that we're able to access within one breach of a server, and therefore you can get more value from Zaya, as well as disrupting the corp's plan, stealing agendas, whatever it might be. Because you want to be making those regular runs, you can use cards like Penny Shaver, or Red Team, or Leech, that will either pay for or reward you for making those regular runs. So, but while Plan A is to pressure the central servers, we also had to have Plan B. So we don't want to just make it easy for the runner to start, for the corp to start rushing things out in the remote. So we use cards like Tread Lightly and Mayfly to make sure it's difficult for the corps to push things out. And then we obviously need some icebreakers because we expect most corporations to play some ice. And then finally, we have the nuts and bolts of the deck, which is the economy and the card draw. And it is very tempting when you're building decks to just say, oh, I've got all these wonderful traps and win conditions and breakers and stuff in now, and then realise that you can't find in them or pay to install any of them because you forgot to put draw and economy in there. So you've got to have the good old stuff like your verbal plasticity and your smart word distributor and your sure gambles in there as well.
Sure enough.
We did a similar exercise with Restoring Humanity. So, because Restoring Humanity is a economic ability, that doesn't just say to you, this is how you should play me. It is up to you what you choose to do with that. And the plan we came up with, or I came up with, is this naughty server idea of, is it an Urtica cipher? Is it a clearinghouse? Or is it a send a message that I'm going to neurospike you on the back of? And just generally being a pain of you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. We then looked at how Noetic Void, just being an extremely strong card in its own right, can help you secure that server, whether you're advancing traps in it or whether you're genuinely just advancing agendas. And in some of the games we've had with this off stream, we've just been able to win pretty quickly because we've had the credits ticking in from the ID ability, and we've had an Noetic Void in the remote, and just say, yeah, I'm just going to score agendas now. Thanks very much. To balance out... Sorry, Sharon.
I was just going to say it's incredibly frustrating when you're on the other end of that.
To balance all this out, when you're playing a deck like this, which is trying to get certain pieces together, almost combo-like, but combo's a dirty word that we say for sports metal players, and we're not talking about them here. So you need cards like Sprint and Spin Doctor to be able to filter your hand, get rid of some of those agendas you don't want yet, or too much economy or too many traps or whatever it might be, put them back into your deck or hide them in archives for a bit, use that to fuel your ID and put them back in. And we saw that there are the big advantages in the changing gameplay that can bring about. We have to put some ice in there. The ice in this deck wasn't particularly great, but it was good enough. And of course, we have to put some economy and draw in there. So we've got the Hansei reviews, we've got the hedge funds, and we've got the regoliths to make sure we can afford all the shenanigans that we want to put out there. So that was my thought process when we were putting these decks together, and I want you to kind of keep that in mind now while we go into some gameplay with this Restoring Humanity and Zaya lists, and then we'll build on that a little bit later.
Build on that a little bit later. Does that mean we get to get rid of Marinar or Marjanar?
We will set fire to Marjanar
That
in
bastard
ceremonial
card.
style, so that it never has to be played again.
I am
so
ready.
Dave, take us over to. Oh no, that's turn off for later.
Spoilers!
Whoa.
Holy cow!
We'll have gameplay mode and watch you two play these.
Straight into a game then.
Let's do this, Dave. How lucky do you feel?
Yeah, I feel pretty lucky.
Yeah, I thought so.
Because it's the first game, which means it's the only game I'm going to win. So I'm ready. I'm ready for my one win of the evening. I'm looking forward to it.
There we are. We're in. build the deck. Select the deck.
Cool. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck, get wrecked. Is that right? Wait.
Oh, I think I'll keep these.
Is that right? Am I at 200% or am I at 170%? What makes more sense here? 170%. There we go. Cool. Okay. Oh. Bye-bye. Okay. Let's see what we've
Such a
got.
shame. Such a shame.
Oh, wow. Okay, sure.
I don't trust you. I think you've got a really good hand now.
Fine. This is fine. Nothing's on fire. Okay, so HQ and R&D need boings. Oh yeah, I see the update to the UI. It's pretty snazzy. But because it's brand new,
Oh.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
Because change is evil. Yeah.
Yeah. What do these symbols mean? I don't like it.
Where's the word clicks? Where's the word credits? This.
What are these two squares about? What
oh
are
yeah,
they
what
about,
are the
actually?
two squares about? Yeah. Oh, is that your memory units?
No, that's
no,
on
that's
the left.
4 out of 4. Okay. I've seen those two squares before. They're up here on your card up here, Sharon, just in the corner. So
I know why I've seen those two squares before. It's because when I was making Mark's special card, I manipulated them into 4 squares.
Very clever.
Indeed. That is your link. You know, that easy to define term that either your internet security and or the amount of people you know.
Sure.
What?
It's your link. Right.
What's that you've got?
Install these here. And then let's put one get out of here on there. There we go.
So let's start the turn.
Cool, good luck.
What? 9.
Look at this money already. What? Just cash heavy straight up.
I thought I might as well. Just felt like it, really.
Yeah, sure. Oh wow, I'm enjoying this already. This is so good. Okay.
Oh, I was a bit too happy. So Mark, if you want to go back to the words instead of the symbols, how do you do that?
It is in your settings, and then under layout options, you will have ticked use icons for player stats. If you untick that, save and refresh your browser, it should go back to words.
Excellent. Yes, it has. It has. Pleased.
That is hot off the press from this afternoon on Slack, because people are asking that question. If I don't like it, can I go back? And yes, you can.
Much appreciated. Oh, what have you got in server 1 there, Dave? What is that?
Could be anything.
It could be anything, couldn't it?
Could be 2 Urtica ciphers. Could be anything. Why are you looking at my remotes anyway? Don't you only care about R&D and HQ?
Not really. Right, now, tip from Mark that I do remember: if you're going to draw at the beginning.
Exactly with that.
6 cards in hand. Swish.
That out.
Ugh.
I know. I thought you'd feel like that. Let's pop you out. And should I take a punt? It's a bit early, isn't it?
You can't really ask for a cheaper card than Marginal.
Well, cheaper to install.
Sure.
Draw credit. Let's go for credit. Back to you, Dave.
Okay. Oh. Sure. Okay. Mm, mm, mm.
So in this deck, Mark, for the runner, there are 4 money-making cards. Is that right? Like outright money-making cards, and then the other ones just are based on actions or trickling.
Yes, if that's what the list said.
I don't remember. How can I remember these things?
Well, let me tell you.
Get the money.
Your Sure Gamble and your Smart Word Distributor are the only pure economy cards. Red Team obviously requires you to make runs, and Zaya's Ability requires. Oh, you've got Creative Commission as well. No, that was money well spent. Influence well spent. So...
I put that in the wrong place. Sorry.
Wait, has Dave got Creative Commission?
No, that's the green runner card that gets you all the money.
Aha.
Then I will.
Oh, interesting. Have a little run on server 1, shall we, Mr. No Credits Dave?
I cannot afford. Correct. I had forgotten to pay attention to my 0 credits. Where was the bit that is it in settings? You can change it so you can see that you've got no credits with the word credits. Because that was an absolute misplay. Settings. Use icons for layers.
Indeed.
Oh no.
Oh.
What? Do you have to update profile? There we go. Please refresh your browser. Okay.
Sorry, I was on mute. Yes, you're absolutely right. The layout options, and then you may need to refresh your browser.
Okay.
Oh. Who remembers how to do the mod actions?
Oh, funny story.
Oh! Found it.
Rejoin. There we go. Cool. Oh, cool. Look at all these bots. Delightful. Right. Okay. Wow. That doesn't seem to be the right password. That's for sure. There we go. Yep. Sharon, you should be able to just approach the server. Are you approaching the server?
No, I was modding. I was using my power.
Duh.
Continue to approach server, access server. Sorry, Dave, I thought you were doing things.
No.
Let me in, let me in. Oh, such a shame. Right.
Sure.
What else can we take advantage of? How about...
It was a bold call, because if that had been an Urtica cipher, it would have still...
It would have hurt. It would have hurt a lot, wouldn't it?
Hurt a lot.
Let's have a gander at... Oh, what do I want to look at more? HQ? Well, I guess I can just do that for the whole run, can't I? 2 credits there.
What's the one you can access the most of? Oh, there we go.
Let's
HQ, I
pop
guess.
a dirty little Docklands pass there, and let's run HQ.
Cool.
Access server. I can access them both, can't I?
Yeah, have to.
But
and it's up to you which order you do them in.
Irritating.
However, I'm reasonably certain my anoetic void is safe because you were out of credits at that point as well.
Yeah, but I do have 3 now, so let's have another crack at that.
No further actions. Cool.
Not what I wanted to do, but I think I had to do that.
Yeah, sure.
You live to fight another day, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should have gone R&D and then HQ. I knew you had something on HQ, and I should have run R&D to get those sweet credits in.
Well, don't forget with Zaya, you don't have to use her first time. You can choose when you use her. So if you'd run R&D, you would have only got 1 credit from her, but running HQ, you got 3 credits from her.
True.
Now, whether you should have run R&D after that depends on how much you would have trashed that anoetic void.
So much. Honestly, so much.
Yeah, that's tragic. That is tragic. Sharon, it's your go.
I'm ready. Thinking. Damn, now you've got 4 credits.
Indeed.
And I only have 2. Alright, let's have a little draw. Why do you need credits to use this card?
You're voicing my last turn there.
Well, let's 1, 2, 3. That's 3 clicks, isn't it? Oh cripes. Gotta put something down.
Well,
Gotta
you
do
don't have to. You can always throw something away. But yeah, I understand that you...
Let's have a crack at R&D.
Wow.
Sure enough.
Bold move.
I might as well.
3 code gate.
Fortunately,
Do
it's going to cost you
this.
2 credits.
2 credits.
Worth it. Worth it.
Cool.
You're going to break even on the run, but because it draws you a card, it's not going to solve that particular issue for you.
What?
Always draws you a card. This is part of its appeal.
Does it show does it show me? Oh no, only I can see which cards I drew, can't I? And now I can't remember which cards they were or if I'd be able to trash them.
Oh yeah. Wait. Can you not scroll up to see what it was in the chat log, or does it not log it there for you?
It doesn't log it now.
Yeah.
It just logs it as an unseen card.
Let's pop you out then. And let's gain a credit.
Sure.
2, 3, 4.
There we go. Sharon, it's you.
Little think though, Dave. I am having a little think.
Okay.
2, 3, 4. That's what I wanted to do.
Oh,
and now
come on! Wow, all this economy must be nice.
It'll.
Oh, be damned. Okay.
Oh, I don't like it when you're building money up. That means you want to
There you go.
res something, don't you?
Well, it was kind of painful not being able to res any ice whatsoever. Yes.
Well, speaking of painful.
It's 3 extra?
Yeah.
Yep. Worth every penny. Sod off.
I'm sure.
Go on.
It's only 4 credits with Mayfly.
With
Unless
Mayfly?
everyone just wants to take some net damage.
No damage, please.
There you go.
No damage. Yeah, I think that was worth it. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Get that out of the way.
Oh,
Now.
there's some key information you need to lock in on at this point, Sharon.
I have cleared both of his clearing houses,
That's good.
and I did see what cards he had, so I knew. I don't know if that's. Oh, what? I don't understand. What's the key information I need to lock in on? Was it just the clearing houses stuff?
Well, look over at Dave's situation.
Like it. I like it. Thank you for that reminder.
Absolute two-headed giant shenanigans. Can't believe it. Another case of two-headed runner shenanigans. This is picking on people.
If it Dave, that was one of my options, just not being considered that much.
Damn it, that was my income.
That was a good income though. 2 credits a turn.
I'm watching you, Green Haggle. This is it. Right here, this is the moment where I separate friend wheat from friend chaff. You watch it. This could be the end of a great friendship. Right now.
You're gonna really hate my last.
Okay, no, that
go.
was a fantastic last move. I'm particularly happy about it.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about this later.
Yep.
What about Creative Commission?
Yes. For sure.
Dave, can you scroll down your chat log, please?
Oh yeah, have I bumped it up? Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it's just,
Hate that Karuna though. It's a dirty, dirty card. It's Sentry.
Oh really? Really?
Now, in the interest of remaining neutral. Oh, too late.
Yep. Oh, you can remove the asset at any time! Oh, what a misplay! Sure. Sure.
You can remove the asset at any time.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah.
That reminds me.
Yeah.
Sharon, did you intend to just make a pointless one on archives there? Or did
No,
you
I
want to
wanted the
red team
3
it?
credits. Oh, I
have to-
wanted to red team it. Ah. And I was. Do you know what? I was actually looking forward to not having to do undo click.
I mean, you've done very well. We're well into the episode tonight.
Yeah. So the do-over?
Yeah. Oh, I don't think it. No, that's correct, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
You click on red team, have a punt and archives. That's what I want.
Cool.
Now I've got 3, so I'm going to have a little punt at R&D.
Mm-hmm. Cool. An unseen card.
Now I'm back to 5. And pop you out, shall we, Carmen?
Curses. Okay.
All the breakers out. Always a good sign.
Wait, what? Was that clicking? Oh! The action costs money, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Damn. Okay, resin doesn't cost cash, does it?
No.
Or click.
Depending on what you're resin.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Res. Cool.
2 cards.
Oh, that was smart. Yeah.
You used Spin Doctor
And wait.
to draw 2
What
cards.
else?
And you've taken 2 cards out of archives.
And I gain cash and yes! Yes! Imagine being so poor that you're defended by your own lack of wealth. There we go. Oh, I feel so much safer now. How ridiculous. It's your go, Sharon.
Okay. I mean, let's play Overclocked on that server one, just because it makes me nervous. Through that.
Cool. This is annoying, but not the end of the world.
Cool. That's an interesting card. Right. Get some money in.
Yep. Sure. Cool. Cool.
All right.
Okay. Cool.
You notice what you could have done differently there, Sharon?
I don't.
So what wise words of mine did you remember just recently?
That I should have drawn. But if I was going to draw, I should have drawn right at the start of the turn. And if I'd done that, I would have gotten some virus tokens on my beautiful virus card. Why are you protecting your HQ, Dave? What have you got in there?
Nothing you'd be interested in.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah.
I feel like you're protecting it for a reason.
Sure.
No?
What? It's your go. I'm.
Okay, let's just build up a little bit of money. A little bit of money.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's do that. Just
Sure.
a tiny bit.
Sure.
And where are you? 2 credits. 2 credits, Dave.
Yep. Just the 2, actually.
I have 6. Pop you out.
Oh.
Yeah.
And now you have 1. One lonely credit.
Yeah.
One.
It's dangerous.
It's the loneliest credit that you ever had. This one. It's this one here. This credit.
It is that credit. Mark, I've done that thing where I click on red team and now it won't let me unclick it.
Oh.
It's asking you which server you want to run.
Yes.
I think you'll have to undo click.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, sorry.
My what's it was in the wrong place. There we go.
Second time.
Okay. Oh, phew. That puts you one undo click ahead of me now.
But
Back in
I
the
meant
game.
to play red team. There we go. So I'd played that. It's down to 1 credit. And then I was going to draw.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Always
Back over
best to
to you,
draw on
Dave.
last click.
Cool.
Come on, Mark. I didn't know if I was going to draw, if I was just gonna go out for a jog.
Go.
Well, you've got one more click to go, right? And a credit?
Oh!
So what are you going to do with it? What?
Try and get that sweet, sweet money in.
Okay, sure.
Sorry, Dave, I miscounted the clicks there.
No, it's fine.
Yes. Interesting.
Okay.
So you have something new in server 1, do you, Dave?
Yes,
And you have 2 credits.
I do.
Well,
Oh, sure. Gain your credits.
and I think
So many freckle fracking red teams.
I know server 1 is not a central server, so let's have a go at this.
Oh! Okay.
Take you down a little notch.
Sure.
And then I think that's 1, 2 to break Karuna. What's this one? It's at home. Diviner. Ooh, dirty beast. And that's a code gate, right?
Yes.
So I'd need 2 credits to increase strength to 3, or
Another
do that.
patch token?
Yep.
Unity only takes you 1 credit to reach strength.
You've got 1, 2 other icebreakers. So you actually, for one credit, you get plus 1, 2, 3.
Let's do that. I'll add a. Oh wait, I didn't need to do that, did I?
Nope.
No.
Well, I've done it now, so.
Can you just place a thing on that? Oh. Okay.
That was yeah, I needed to take that money away from you, Dave.
That's fine, it did its job.
Now I'm going to do something and Mark's going to probably point it out again.
If you don't do something, I'm more likely to point it out.
Let's have a little run on HQ.
Dang it.
Sorry.
Cool, that's fine. Yeah. I'm going to remain poor forever. I will.
Well, you're playing a strange strategy at the minute, Dave. You've got no money whatsoever, and yet you're trying to advance agendas with the money you don't have. It's a bold strategy. It's
Okay, so it's because problematically, without money, I can't protect my HQ. But the agendas keep coming out into my HQ, and I have no way of getting rid of them other than putting them in my archives. I don't have the money for ice to stick in my archives really to protect it. That would be useless. And it would just be a free run for Sharon every single time. So I'm kind of putting them behind the only protection that is available for them at the moment. I've ditched.
Your logic,
Yeah.
but on that last turn, for example, before Sharon trashed it, you had a regolith mining license in hand.
Yes, absolutely.
If you installed and clicked that twice, you would have had 6 credits.
Yeah.
Rather than no credits.
6 credits, I suppose. Yeah. It would have been right. Take your tag, you filth. How dare you?
Oh, well, do you know what? I think I'll just end the run.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Sure.
I think this may be the end, the end of my good fortune. Barrier, where are you? Goddamn marinara. Do I want to? You have 1 credit left. Oh,
I mean, you've already made a successful run this turn, so Marjanar is only a credit.
True.
Mm.
And so if Marjanar's 1 and that thing is 1. But it's asking me to pay 2 credits to fully break ping.
Yeah, as we said the other day, Marjanar doesn't work properly yet, so...
That's okay. If you pay your credit...
Okay, so I'm paying 2 credits and adding 1 back?
Yeah.
If that's how you prefer to do it, that's...
Yes. What are you? Tithe.
No sentry.
Sentry. And Sentry Breaker is Carmen.
Yep. Which
and
will cost you 2 credits, I think,
1
to fully break. Because you don't need to buff the strength.
Yeah, that's true. Now the question is, do I think I could lose one of these cards? It's at random, isn't it, Mark, the cards that you lose?
Absolutely.
Oh, continue to encounter ice first, sorry. I was wondering why that didn't work. Let's just fully break you.
Sure.
I feel like that was stupid. Now, if I see something I want to trash...
Dang it.
Sorry.
That's
it was
okay.
that chat.
That's
it was
fine.
after you said, Dave, that you kept drawing agenda cards into your HQ.
I'd
thought,
drawn that first.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I've drawn many more than that. And trashed and hidden them. Yeah, it's
there was one point where you could and should have run HQ because Dave had 0 credits.
Yeah.
And he had 3 agendas in hand.
Oh.
Yeah.
But he managed to recover by using his spin doctor to hide them away.
That is clever. Thank you. So while Dave is thinking, I'm going to plug in my iPad to charge.
That is sensible.
Should be charging.
Hmm.
But it is not. Charge, iPad, charge. There. Oh, there we go. If I hold the cable in this very specific location, there we go. Right, let's try cable 2. Let's throw that one away. How are you doing, Dave?
He's thinking about his entire life before taking a click.
Yeah, go on then. There you go.
So what have you done? Money, money, money. Oh, yeah. Do you know what? I've been in that position. It really sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got away with having that tag.
Well, yeah, it's not like I had the dosh to do anything about it. I've had.
Was the turn to have a tag for sure.
Yeah.
Because Dave would have had to go click for credit, trash, verbal plasticity. Not really worth it.
No, that's for a whole turn just for verbal plasticity.
Netrunners are so set up as well.
Yeah, the card draw's handy.
I think have a little crack at tithe is damage, ping is barrier.
Ping takes Marginar to break, and Tithe takes Carmen.
Right, thank you. Am I allowed to have 2 penny shavers out at once? Oh no, limit
No.
1 per player.
Why not? That would be quite busted. I'm going to make a run, gain 2 credits, gain a leech counter.
Oh, barrier.
That's Marginar.
Let's break ping. And then let's have a crack at tithe, which is sentry, which is Carmen.
No, I just gotta.
And that was lucky.
Balls! It was a 1 in 5! Wait, 2 in 5.
2 in
Right,
5.
2 in 5. But it was the first one. That's the important part. Rats.
Good game, Dave.
Yeah, no worries. Good game. There we go. Right, other way round?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
We've got too much to talk about tonight.
I see.
I was getting really excited to use the runner deck.
Well, you've got a chance to play more later, but for now, we're going to do something entirely different. So normally at this point, we go over to deck builder mode to look at some new cards, but tonight we're going to go over to netrunnerdb.
Ooh.
Okay. What is this new thing you have put in front of us, Mark?
And Mark,
Well,
also, it's low grade mocking me for not having any decks of my own.
mocking you.
Mocking you. What? No deck?
Okay, well, so when it comes to deck building and sharing decks and finding out about cards, the go-to place is netrunnerdb.com. There are other websites that do that, but none are in any way the status or use of NetRunnerDB. And therefore it is a essential source, basically, for being a Netrunner player. So at this juncture, I thought it was absolutely vital that you see it, understand it a little bit for now. We can come on to some other features at some other time. But get a feel for it and how important it is for being a Netrunner player. So when you load it up, you'll always get this view. Well, unless you bookmark a different page, well, that's up to you. Assuming you go to netrunnerdb.com, this is what you'll get. And you'll get the deck list of the week, which sometimes is a really cool deck that someone's come up with, and sometimes is a really rubbish deck that has been published by someone popular. And then it turns into a popularity contest. But
cool.
Not that I'm bitter.
Never made the front page, Mark.
Yeah, exactly that.
I'm the half view, by the way.
Oh.
Sarah's connection is terrible.
Okay. Let me sort that out for you.
I'm enjoying this. Like, let's be honest.
It's a good workout, is it, Sharon?
Core muscle building. Oh.
There it is.
So deck list of the week on the left, and then the most 10 recently published deck lists down the right hand side. And you can see from that they're just getting posted all the time. There's some that have done well at the events over the weekend. There's some that people have just been playing with casually. There's lots and lots and lots of them for you to click through, should you be interested.
Mm-hmm.
What we are primarily interested at for now is not the existing deck list, but we're going to go to sets at the top. And in sets, there is a full list of every Netrunner product that's ever been released in release order. So you can go back right through to the original draft and core sets, and then all the different cycles that there have ever been. And up near the top of there, you will find, of course, System Gateway, which I've been playing recently. So you click onto that. Go on.
I was going to ask, all of the cards in System Gateway were just released as one big set of cards?
The System Gateway pack, yes.
Yeah. That's really cool.
So back in the FFG days, cards were released in what was called data packs. So they'd announce a cycle. So on the screen there, you can see like the Sansan cycle or the Lunar cycle or what have you. And then after that cycle had been announced, they would push out somewhere in the region of every 6 to 8 weeks a new pack that would just have 20 cards in it. And that way you had a constantly evolving meta, because every few weeks you'd have a couple of events, but then some new cards would come out and that'd shake things up. And then another couple of weeks and that'd shake things up. And it was cool.
Cool.
Now, unfortunately, the one thing Nisei can't do is produce cards on the same scale that FFG can do, because it's just not feasible in terms of the development process and also the production costs of shipping them in small numbers. So when we get up to the Nisei days, which is from Ashes upwards, you'll see that they come out in bigger packs. So Uprising 65 cards, Downfall 65 cards, System Gateway 77 cards, System Update 82 cards. And that's how it's going to be going forward. Later this year, fingers crossed, we're going to have the next cycle, which at the moment has the code name Bashes as a sequel to Ashes, because we don't know what it's officially going to be called yet. And then we'll have around 130 new cards added to the pool. And
That's
some of the
super exciting.
older cards down at the bottom of this list will rotate out of the game.
Quick,
and that's how...
Vital question. Why did they call it Bashes and not Tashes? Because it's 2 Ashes. Like Ashes 2.
The code name cycle is, I think, taking a page from the Android book, appropriately enough. And it's going Ashes, Bashes, Cashes, Dashes.
I see. So Mustaches is later.
Maybe one day, yeah. I don't know what we're going to do at E, because E-Ashes isn't really a thing, but...
much later then. Mustaches. Yeah.
But, so if you go to System Gateway, what we've been looking at, and that is all 77 cards that come in the pack that I believe you'll be picking up tomorrow, Dave.
Yes, yeah. They've been sent to me in the post, and this small pack here of 77 cards is waiting for me in the postman. And I think it's not just these 77 that I ordered, but also these 82 here as well in System Update.
Oh, well, that's a whole scary new world for another time.
Yeah.
Let's just look at System Gateway for now. So I think I've referred to it in the past episodes as having 75 cards. Technically it's 77, and the reason it's 77 is right at the bottom of the list. Cards 76 and 77 are the Catalyst ID and the Syndicate ID that you use in the starter and booster decks, but they're not legal for anything other than starter or booster deck play as soon as you move into system gateway card pool, you stop using them, and they're not cards as such.
Is it? Do they have any real benefit though if you've got other IDs where you can have up to 40 cards?
Yeah, I mean they're just not legal. They're
Okay.
only legal for those 2 decks as a
Okay.
starting point, and then as soon as you learn how IDs work, you basically put them to one side.
Got it.
So in this list of 75 legal cards, we have seen 69 of them, and there are 6 more that we're going to go through today.
Sure.
So first off, we're going to look at the Shaper ID. We've seen Lou from Anarchs and Zaya from the Criminals.
No.
If you just scroll down, Dave, to the green section, you should be able to see Toe. Forget his surname. Toe
Salonga?
Salonga. Yeah.
Telepresence magician.
So Toe Salonga is, yes, indeed, the telepresence magician. He has 0 link. He has 4 MU, as all the other IDs have that we've looked at. He's a natural, but his ability is something quite different. So his ability says, whenever an agenda is scored or stolen, you may swap 2 installed pieces of ice.
That's not cool. You can switch 2 pieces of ice's places.
Do you have
Exactly
to pay the
that.
difference?
No,
You
you're
pay
just
nothing.
switching them. That's
You're just
BS.
You're just saying, oh, you thought you were safe with that Ansel on HQ. Well, I'm just going to stick that on Archive now out the way, and I'm going to put your white space on HQ and run through that instead.
Does it take off any viruses that you've got on that ice?
No, if it's hosted, it remains hosted.
Hosted on the ice. Sure.
Yeah. If you've got a Palisade on a remote and it's getting +2 strength because it's on a remote, you can swap that onto a central, and it isn't getting +2 strength anymore.
That is a sack of
It can
old
be
beans.
quite disruptive.
I especially like the comment that we can just see at the bottom of Dave's screen. The design of this card is so egregious it made me log into an account I haven't accessed in years.
You have stumbled over another Netrunner meme. So someone saw this card and was so upset about it, they went on a extensive rant about how the sky was falling and it was all Toe Salonga's fault.
So obviously everybody copy pastes this to every single other ID immediately, right? So that they can then say how egregious that ID is.
I mean, look how many replies it's got. You're lucky if you get 1 reply on NRDB these days.
It's amazing. Oh, incredible. It's so egregious.
Yeah.
I mean, it does.
I mean,
that feels rude, right? That feels
it
rude.
feels very rude. And the first tournament I think we had in the New World, Toe Salonga won, piloted by Rotage, my friend Dave. And then everyone was like, "Oh, I told you," but they haven't dominated the meta in any way, shape, or form. They're just they're a fun idea.
Sure.
So back in the whole colour pie thing, if you remember me telling you about that, how different factions are supposed to have different abilities.
Yeah.
Anarchs are the only faction that destroy ice. Criminals are the only faction that can de-res ice. Now, Shaper's version of that was supposed to be moving ice around, but every attempt to do that has either been terrible or brokenly good so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
And therefore been swiftly banned afterwards. So this is the next version of it. So far, it hasn't been too busted, but it can be quite rude for sure.
Yeah. Love it. What the heck?
Now, if you go back to the set page, the other card we haven't looked at is what is essentially his console. Now, it's not canon that a console belongs to a runner. It is a widely held belief, certainly for most consoles, but it's never been officially confirmed that there's a one-to-one relationship.
Yep.
But we can take shorthand and probably say that Pantograph belongs to Tau. And you don't have to play that runner's console, that's not a thing, and that's why part of the thing about, well, what does it matter who they belong to if you can play whichever one you want? Anyway, I digress. Pantograph costs 2 credits to install. It's a hardware console, obviously. Gives you the extra 1 MU, as you normally get from a console. And its ability says, whenever an agenda is scored or stolen, you gain a credit. Pretty nice.
Sure.
And then you may install 1 card from your grip.
But you have to have the money to install it,
Saves
correct?
you a
You
click.
do,
Yeah.
it saves you a click. It doesn't save you any money, but it gives you that extra credit to try and make you pay for it.
You can install
to try and
cards
help
in
you
other
pay for
people's
it.
turns.
Very
You
good.
can install cards on other people's terms, yes indeed. Under certain circumstances. Now you can see why this works very well when paired with Tau. So an agenda is scored or stolen. You then use Tau's ability to put a weak piece of ice on a server. Then you use Pantograph's ability to either install the card that's going to break that server, or you install a card that's going to benefit from being able to access that server, and then you take your next click and away you go. So there's some obvious synergy to be delivered there.
Cool.
Liking this.
Okay, then we're going to go back to the list. And the next faction we're going to look at is HB, the Purples. And we're going to look at their ID, which is called Precision Design. And of the new identities, I think it's fair to say that... fairly fair to say that this one has been the most influential. Built to Last is seeing a lot of play as well, but this one has enabled playstyles that we haven't seen for a while. So, Precision Design is a 40 minimum deck size, so you're probably going to put 44 cards in there.
Mm-hmm.
You've got 15 influence, and Sharon, you've slid off the side again.
Oh, Sharon's become 2 people.
I know I watched dinner,
Welcome back, Sarah.
but that's just rude.
Um,
Sarah's back. Hi. I can hear her speaking, but I think she's on mute. Sorry, Mark.
The ability says, for a start, you get +1 maximum hand size, and that's a nice enough ability all of its own. You can have 6 cards in HQ until you score Superconducting Hub, and then obviously you can have more than that. But more importantly, it says whenever you score an agenda, you may add 1 card from archives back to HQ. So, can you recall any of the cards we've looked at over the last few weeks that would work quite well with that?
So some of the ones that enabled you to do more archive shenanigans would be pretty good. There's that one that enables you to draw 3 cards and then put 2 in archives, hiding them away. That would be pretty
good.
slick. Yeah, I'd quite enjoy that. Yeah, sprint. That would be quite good. Also, being able to get back any of your already rezzed. What's the attack card from that's a bit like Urtica Cypher, but it does meat damage at the start of the turn. Clearinghouse. Is that the one?
No, it's
Clearinghouse. Yeah.
Yeah,
there's the
Clearinghouse
agenda
would be
that
solid.
does meat damage when you score it.
A card that helps you score agendas that we didn't see last week, but we saw in the earlier weeks?
The card where it lets you advance.
Clean. clean release, clean
Exactly that. Seamless launch.
seamless
Seamless
launch. There it is.
So, if you remember seamless launch, you can click on it if you like, Dave. That is just very simply place 2 advancement counters on one installed card that you did not install this turn. So, you've used that because to just put 3 or 4 advancements on a card that to score it, and then rather than throw it away, you say, "I'll just put this straight back into my hand."
Yes.
So
Clever.
if you had an agenda unscored start of the turn, you left it from last turn because you didn't want to score it. You've got an agenda that you can score immediately, right? You have seamless launch in hand. You have one of the cheap 3-1 agendas, and you have this ID. You can wait. You can't stack it, can you? So you can't add 1 card from archives. You'd need to have. Yeah, so you'd recover your seamless launch immediately after. So you'd use your what's it on? Oh no, wait, no, it's too many turns. It's something you haven't installed this turn. Okay.
Don't get excited. Don't get too excited.
There's a few stoppers, but I can't see this
There's
being a stopper
lot of
for
shenanigans
everything.
you can do here.
Yeah.
Right, seamless launch. Among many other cards in Standard, but in System Gateway, seamless launch is one of the biggest shenanigans enablers because it lets you do 2 advancements for 1 click.
Yep.
And that allows you to go from no advancements to 4 very quickly, or it allows you to go from no advancements to 3, and then put another card in the remote maybe for next time as well.
Yep.
And then every time you score one of those agendas, whatever card you have just used to help you score that agenda, you can just say, "Yeah, I'll have back, please, thanks."
So you can score and return stuff real quick.
Were scoring agendas historically was a tempo loss. Using this ID, it can actually make it quite tempo neutral because you're doing it with an off-world office. It's actually gaining your money rather than losing your money. And then you're getting a seamless launch or some other card back ready for you to score your next one.
World Office, is that's the agenda where every time we score it you say this is a ridiculous agenda because it's too powerful?
Yes. Speaking of powerful agendas, and one that I think will please Dave immensely, let's look at the long-titled Luminal Transubstantiation.
Click gain! Fantastic!
There you go. So all those shenanigans that you were just talking about, that you're going to run out of quick.
Outrageous!
I mean, it stops you scoring agendas for the remainder of the turn, but who cares?
Yeah, I will just score an agenda. I will score this agenda. I will take a card back to my hand to help me score my next one. Then I will install my next agenda so I can potentially seamless launch it next turn. I can advance it if I want to. I can install another piece of ice if I want to.
Scored an agenda.
I can get
nice
more money if I want to.
Here's the second turn. Well done.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Okay. Yeah, these guys are a pretty good corp so far by the looks of it.
They know what they're doing. Yeah.
Pretty strong. Yep.
Okay, and then we may have peaked too soon. I'm not sure the last couple of cards are as exciting as that, but
Oh God, Mark.
regardless, we're going to go on to the NBN ID, the Yellows,
Yellows.
and their identity is called Reality Plus.
Ooh.
So Reality Plus is again, it's a 40 card deck. It's a 15 influence, and the first time each turn the runner takes a tag, you get to gain 2 credits or you get to draw 2 cards.
Okay. Cool.
Any cards coming to mind quite useful with this?
Any card that gives the runner a tag?
The one that defends your HQ or your servers requires a 2-card loss on use, and so being able to power that seems pretty strong.
Well, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you've got your Anoetic Void behind a card that gives tags, maybe a Funhouse, maybe a ping, as they run into it, you can say, "Can I have some more cards in my hand?"
You go empty-handed with a ping out, and you're like, "Oh, it's a ping." They're all, full of beans, running straight at that server because they're like, "Look at that guy! He's got no hand. He can't sacrifice any cards out of his hand into archives because we're safe here. He's got none." And then boom, yeah, you tag them with a ping, and they eat dirt when they hit your server. Brilliant.
So you've got the ice in ping and Funhouse that will do it.
Yep.
You've got the upgrade in Amaze Amusement that will only works when they steal an agenda off you, but then gives you the credits for you to be able to punish them because of it.
Yeah.
You've also got Public Trail that we've been using earlier to much cause, where gets you is 4 credits to play, which is quite steep. But of course, if it lands this time, you get 2 credits back.
Oh, sure.
So it effectively makes it only 2 credits to play.
Oh, wow.
Very clever.
Hey, that's pretty good.
So there's lots of shenanigans you can get up to with that, including scoring its unique agenda, which is called Tomorrow's Headlines.
Ew.
Which is a 3/2 with a very simple ability. If you score it or steal it, give the runner a tag.
Sure. Or steal it. That's cracking. Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can seamlessly change devices.
Seamlessly. Good luck.
Seamlessly.
Well, I think you've Streisand affected that quite heavily. There we go. Seamless.
Seamlessness.
Pretty good.
Okay. In the interest of great planning, I'm going to let you look at those new cards and some of the new and get some ideas for some synergies that you might be able to do with that. While I just disappear for 2 secs.
Okay.
The beer run. It's the beer run, isn't it?
What? Is he going for a beer? Unbelievable.
I think he might.
Unbelievable. What an amount of shenanigans.
I was about to go for a beer.
Right. I'm quite looking forward to futzing with these new IDs.
They are cool, aren't they? Which one's your favourite so far?
Harspiroid seems busted. There is the archives kind of area matches an area in Magic pretty much similar called the Graveyard, and Graveyard play has been in the system for forever and a day, and there are a couple of factions within the game that use it to great effect, either rezzing the dead or playing cards straight out of it. So I'm super interested because that's generally where I kind of play. I'm super interested in the HB bring back your archives thing. The cost of doing it when you score an agenda, I mean, cool. I'd like more cheap agendas in it, I think, in order to not put too much dangerous kind of agendas in. As this person says here, so unless you're planning on only having 6 agendas in a deck with 40 to 44 cards in order to protect them from being stolen by masking them with card amounts, right, this agenda is better than anything else. Sure, but that ID would probably work better with multiple small agendas, and so you'd probably be able to score them more often off the back of the fact that they don't take much to advance. The cost
But
of having multiple small agendas is hopefully prohibitive for the runner to get a hold of every single one of them. I think small agendas in large amounts would work well
then
with
you
the
lose
ID.
card slots, though, don't you, Dave? Because you'd have to have enough agendas.
Yeah, but
that
you don't
if
care
just
about them.
split the things, because if you don't have enough agendas and you run out
For
of cards
sure.
in your R&D, wins.
For sure, but you don't give two flutes about that because you're not too fussed on your card draw as much because you can draw out of your archives, so you can take back stuff that you've seen, and that's like a search, right? Because you can pick one card from there. That's filtering the stuff that's already flown through. Yeah, yeah. In fact, racing small agendas with HB might be quite fun. Yeah.
Already, you're seamlessly giving us a view of your ceiling at the moment. I don't know if that's intentional or.
Framed perfectly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm pleased that you've got some ideas for decks that you'd like to play, because the next thing we're going to look at is how you make a deck.
Oh, solid.
Woo, woo, woo. Teach
So-
us, Mark. Teach us.
I want you to go over to my decks at the top.
What? No deck? Oh.
I don't think that screen was there when I when I had 0 decks in my hand, but which I think from what we've just seen, I think Dave's excited about the Aspire, so let's build a corp.
Sure. Let's do this thing.
I'm
And
gonna
then
try.
choose which ID you want to play, which in their case is Precision Design.
System gateway. So we go here. Precision design. Here we go.
Okay, now welcome to your deck builder screen. So just to take you through the interface. Obviously, in the top left, you've got your ID card, your ID ability, and summary information at the deck that will auto-update as you go through. This white space here is where your deck's going to appear shortly. Here we have some underneath that you have some card suggestions, and you can turn these on or off as you wish. But I just leave them there. Sometimes they remind you of stuff, whatever. And then we've got some basic information there at the bottom. You've got to call your deck something, so it's meaningful to you. You've got a legality checker, which defaults to the most recent ban list, but you can change that to any other ban list in history, should you want to, or even just say casual play, which means no ban list is in effect.
Gotcha.
Over on the right-hand side, you've got this build notes check history collection settings. Notes check history and settings. Well, let's have a quick look at settings. We certainly don't need to do notes check in history there for other things. But you just want to check in that you that's all appears to be correct. Display in one column, use 3 color sets, show 3 suggestions. Yeah, that's all in order. That's how I feel set up. That's
What does this
as
mean?
it should be.
Faction / type cumulative versus exclusive?
Oh no, so let's not mention it.
Okay, sure. Keep quiet. Yep, no worries.
The important bit is under collection. Now, what collection allows you to do is choose which cards you are looking from. Now, at the moment, I think every card ever was selected there, which is why you were seeing not only cards that were from Standard, but you were seeing cards that have rotated out of the game as well.
Sure.
So that's why you won't know of them.
Yep.
It has this quite nice feature that if you're playing startup mode, you can just click startup and it'll tick all the card packs that are eligible for startup.
Nice.
You can click standard and it'll click all the cards that are eligible for standard. But for our purposes, we're just looking at system gateway. So none is the quickest to do, is clearing it and then just tick the system gateway.
Yeah, seems pretty sensible.
Then if you go back to build, you can see that what was a long list there has now filtered because it's now only showing you cards that are legal for you to play.
Gotcha.
That just
So that it knows that you don't want to put illegal cards in your deck. Now, underneath those build notes, check, etc., you've got a search box.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the search box is filtered so that it can only return results that are legal. So if you tried typing in the runner card, for example, Sure Gamble, it will tell you what you're talking about. Now, you know Sure Gamble exists, but it has already checked that Sure Gamble isn't legal for this deck because that's a runner card, and therefore it doesn't bring it up. So
Sure.
I think that's quite clever. Now, what these buttons underneath mean is the key bits then of filtering and viewing all your different cards. So on the left there, you've got the different factions. HB, Jinteki, MBN, Wayland, and Neutral.
Yep.
So you can't have agendas from factions other than HB or Neutral. But if you click Neutral, yep, you'll see that they've got all the agendas that are legal to play in Startup. Sorry, in Gateway. On the right-hand side, you've got the card types. So you'll see at the moment that agenda is pressed in. Now, these buttons click in and out. So if you press agenda again, it'll say that there's no cards now because you haven't got any card type selected. But if you wanted to, for some bizarre reason, you could look at agendas and ice at the same time, and it would bring you a list of agenda and ice.
Sure.
So, but for our purposes, what we mainly want to do is sort of unclick one and then click the next one, so that it's just showing us one type of card at once. Because the card pool for System Gateway is so small, what we should do here is click all of the factions on the left, so that we're looking at everything that's possible, because it's not going to be an overwhelming list just for the 75 cards we're looking at.
Yep.
So, now we've looked at the interface, the next question is, what do we want to do with this deck?
What? Choose a style of play from it.
Yeah.
Well,
based on the cards you've seen, new or otherwise, what do you think is going to go well in this deck?
Okay, so I want to be able to abuse the scoring and agenda thing. So I've decided, at the very least, I'm going to have quite a few cheap agendas, because I don't think I'm too fussed by the idea of spanking a lot of agendas into the deck and wasting that deck space. So I don't think that's a waste, because actually each of those cards is potentially another card straight out of Archives to HQ. So
if you take the filter off operation and turn it on agendas, it'll show you all the agendas that are available to you. Now, you've got to have 18 points in here, because that's the corresponding number for a 44 card deck. So it's up to you how you make up 18 points out of those options.
Yep. It's probably orbital superiorities 2 each. I mean, you're kind of limited to how you crack these out. You want them quick to go. So there's 18, and I can't. Orbital superiority would leave me, if I got rid of. I have to have a send a message.
Yeah.
You do. You have to have at least one in these style of decks. Otherwise, you can't make up the numbers.
Yep.
So I think, based on what you've said about what we're trying to do, that looks like kind of the optimal balance.
Yeah. I think that's the only way of achieving it without putting too many sender messages in. And send a message be damned.
Okay.
There we go.
So, what is then what are the key cards that are going to let you do what you want to do?
Right. Okay. So, operations-wise, I need to be able to throw those things out as fast as possible, which smells of seamless launches. Sprints are good for card draw and sifting, and they're in color, which is nice and cheap. Obviously, I'm going to want some money because who doesn't love money? So I've put in a couple of government subsidies because I've got influence. I can put them in there. I've got a couple of hedge funds. I think I probably want all 3 hedge funds.
Normally, I mean, there are a small number of decks that don't play all 3 hedge funds, or don't play any hedge funds, but they're uncommon.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hedge funds out the wazoo. Hansei Review seems pretty strong for just gaining.
It is.
So that seems great because for 5 you gain 10 and you trash one of your cards from HQ. But you don't give 2 flying monkeys about trashing a card out of HQ because you can always get it back. Thanks, HB. Thanks. So potentially it might.
To an extent, don't forget you've got to. If all your agendas come out at once, you can't throw them all away and get them all back.
No, it's true. But you can chuck them away and try and hide them. And for that, you'd want the asset Spin Doctor, which is only 1 point, which is pretty good. So that you can hide anything that does hit your archives that you don't care about. Now, that does seem kind of counterproductive, though, to what you're doing, because you actually want stuff in your archives. However,
you only get one card back from your ID, so it is a cool ability, and obviously you want to build around that. But if you want to reuse cards more than a couple of times, you've got to have another way of doing it too.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think probably 1 or 2 Spin Doctors, maybe 2. Let's have a look. How many cards am I up to? I'm halfway through already. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right. We'll need a number of these just to be a douchebag, because otherwise it's not exactly. As soon as you put something out, it becomes sort of obvious that it's either a Spin Doctor, although you can get rid of that and use that straight away. Yeah. So let's have a look at those operations.
Is Clearinghouse what you want? Because are you going to be advancing something and leaving it in a server, or is that just to try and camouflage the Urtica cipher?
It's potentially it's to camouflage the Urtica cipher. Also, you're not going to always be able to score these on the turn that you get them out. Also, being able to put a seamless launch on one of these clearinghouses and then use it next turn does 2 extra meat damage. You're trying to get these seamless launches back, right? So you could gain a kill out of clearinghouse potentially.
Okay.
So I don't know. You might be right that it might be a bit much, and I mean it is quite expensive on influence. It might be worth just splashing 1 just in case, because if you can start advancing that, leave it, and then threaten it to be. Oh, I don't know. You're going to be trying.
Don't overthink it. We've got lots to think about.
Sure. Okay.
I mean, you're presumably going to want some ice at some point.
Yes, yeah, of course. We've all made this mistake. I've made this mistake before. So you get the 1 sentry, 1 code gate, and 1 barrier out of faction in neutral. But they're all sort of quite weak. Only one of them stops the run. and it does nothing else, and it's quite weak. So let's have a look what Hasboroid has. Oh, of course, they've got
Yeah, the two big
bioroids.
bioroids.
They've got
yeah.
two absolute beaters when it comes to bioroids. They're influence free, aren't they?
They are for HB.
They're quite expensive, but one's a barrier,
Worth
one's a sentry. But the nice part about them is that hopefully, with your hedge funds and your government subsidies, and also potentially the other one we looked at, which was it Hansei Review? Potentially with Hansei Review, you might have quite a lot of cash, but we'll reconsider Hansei Review in a minute. Okay, so I got a chunk of influence left, 4 left. So I can have a couple from out of faction. Let's have a look. Which ones have I greatly enjoyed because they stopped the run? I mean, that
Why
one's
don't you?
super good, but
Pharos
yeah,
is.
it's very cool.
Do you have any ideas on
I'm not-
numbers of ice you
I
want?
don't think I'm doing anything with tags. Well, so I definitely need at least a couple of each type, right? A couple of barriers, a couple of sentries, a couple of code gates.
The just for guidance, the Restoring Humanity list we had 13 ice in it. The built to last list, I think had 15 or 16 ice.
Sure.
So just it doesn't have to have that many. Does it have to have that few? That's just what we've been using so far.
Yeah, and we need to protect at least one remote so that we can put stuff into it again and again and go fast with it. Because you always have to leave something if you want to use seamless launch nicely. It's something you didn't install this turn. And of course, nothing is capable of being placed in and scored straight away in this set. Really. Right? Send a message, superconducting hub.
I don't think anything is it?
No.
Everything's at minimum.
Yeah.
But they do help with ISIS. Some in the chat as cook.
Sure. Yeah, they do. But send a message is it's quite a high cost to score it, which doesn't.
You
seem
want to get
so
the similar levels of ice that we've played with before.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have to go all in on white spaces and tithes and palisades.
Yeah.
Or you're just going to run out of influence.
Sure. Okay.
Now that puts us on 13 pieces of ice, which is passable.
Yeah.
Or you can use some of that 4 influence you've got left for
something else interesting. Oh, that's 5 credits to bring in a ballista. Seems pricey. 5 credits again. Unless they pay for.
Wouldn't you bother with Funhouse unless you're going with a tagging
I'm not
strategy?
going for any tagging this, yeah. Diviner is too much influence, I think. A strength 3 though. Seems not bad. But it's 50-50. Karuna's probably better, I think.
Have you any thoughts on this, Sharon?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I should definitely.
Would you like to share them with the group?
I think Pharos is brilliant. If you've got the money to play it.
Yep, and with seamless launch as well. Pharos becomes Tonk when it.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll put a Pharos in.
This is the corp that gives you the tag, so I wouldn't even bother with ping.
So we've only got 1 influence left now, and you can see from all those 2 and 3 dots there is no ice that we can put in with 1 dot of influence.
You mean my second
So-
Pharos? I ditched an Urtica cipher for it.
Oh, okay.
You don't have
I
any
see.
Zero.
I think
So
the
you've
Urtica
got
cipher might be a little bit edge case.
Yeah, the thing to remember is you only need to win once.
Sure.
You don't need to have 7 win conditions in one deck. Now, obviously, in Gateway, you don't have a great deal of choice, so you put some cards in that might not be 100% on your main game plan.
Yep.
But you've got a win condition you've got in your head. You've got to consider a plan B, but don't change all your deck just to accommodate a plan B.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Okay, so we're okay on influence now. We've got 7 slots left, so that means every card we put in now either has to be neutral or HB. So we can take the filters off for Wayland, MBN, and
Very true.
Jinteki, and then we can look at what other cards we've got basically left available to us. You can even press all the buttons if you want to get the full list.
I don't think we need any more ice because we're up to 15 ice, and I'm happy with that. That seems like a serious amount. I don't want any extra agendas in because...
No, good advice.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I probably want... I've put 2 Nico campaigns in. I might go harder on that. Regolith rewards my clicks, which... Oof, wait, hang on a minute. Regolith would work as a really good sink for extra clicks, turning those 3 clicks that you get from transubstantiation into 9 extra monies straight away.
If it was installed. Or install it and get 6. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. Which seems pretty strong. I love sprint. You know what? That.
No skunk works?
Maybe.
You're not bothering with the skunk? Oh, skunk works that you've not got upgrades turned on.
That's upgrades. I missed that. That was the last. Yeah. Oh gosh, Skunkworks is cracking, isn't it? Right, I'll tell you what.
I think you probably want 2 or 3 skunk works and then make space for them either with regoliths or Nikos.
Yeah. The Nikos probably aren't going to... Ice is good enough that we could protect a Nico for long enough.
It is, but do you want to be...
But
do you want to be protecting a Nico,
no,
or do you want to be...
You're sat there with it kicking out, aren't you? Like, I'd rather have, I think, 3 skunkworks to ensure that it gets hit. A couple of regolith mining. I think that's it. I think that's probably it.
Right, so let me just check your numbers to make sure I've got the same deck saved here. I'm sure Sharon's been doing the same as well, so...
Aren't you just going to send me a list to paste in, please, Mark? My favourite person called Mark Greenhouse.
Okay, so if you're happy with that, give it a name. If you're not feeling poetic, episode 5 will do. And save it on up.
Now, I've been trying to build a runner deck while Dave has been building his corp deck, but it's been very slow, and I've got 4 cards so far.
Okay, well, let's just... Dave, if you go now to... just give me a sec. If you now go to building a runner deck, or whatever that button's called, new runner deck. And are we assuming we're in Toe, Sharon, or have I?
We're in what?
Are we building a Toe deck, or are you building something else?
Yes, it's a Tau deck.
Toe deck.
Was it our general excitement when you were going through the perks?
Shenanigans.
Telepresence magician.
Yeah, okay, so we've got Tywin, and what have you got so far?
I had put in, well, while we were speaking just now, I added a few more. For programs, I had 2 botulists, 2 conduit, and 2 fermenters. And then icebreakers, I had 2 carmen, 2 cleaver, 2 echelon, 2 mayfly. Now, the problem with that is I have now spent 18
Let's get those on the screen so we can have a look at what you're talking about.
Right.
2
Okay.
botulists, 2 cleavers, 2
So
conduits, 2 fermenters,
2 botulists, 2 mayfly, 2 echelon, and 2 carmen.
2 cleavers, did you say?
Yeah.
2 mayfly, 2 carmen, 2 botulus, 2 cleaver, 2 carmen, 2 mayfly, 2 echelon.
Yeah, but I guess I don't really need 2 echelon and 2 carmen.
No, you definitely don't.
I guess I'd reduce it to 1 carmen and 1 echelon, and if I need to, I'll just scrap the carmen and have a.
That's an unusual tactic. You can do that if you want, but
Or not. I mean.
well, let's sort of leave it for now. The obvious problem you've got with this, I think, if Dave just scrolls up.
I think I'm missing some here because that looks like
Yeah.
influence is correct there, but I can't.
So we also had 2 conduits and 2 fermenters.
Oh, get off! 2 conduits. Okay, sure, and 2 fermenters. Brilliant. Gross. The 2 fermenters will take you over the influence spend.
No, yeah, you can see now you're on 16 influence, and you also need about 700 memory units to install all this. So,
all right. So what I'll do is I'll take out the fermenters for now. That pops me back up to 6. Is it cleaver that's an issue as well? So what else breaks a barrier?
Cleaver's okay. Well, your alternatively to Cleaver is your friend of mine, Marjanar. So maybe you do want Cleaver.
Yeah, Marjanar can do one.
What you don't have at the minute is any way of breaking code gates.
I do not. What if I had 1 cleaver and 1 Marjanar?
Why would you do this to yourself?
The one,
I mean,
one Martian.
Because I get an extra influence back.
On the what we talked about you only have to win once. You want to have a deck that's intended to be played in one way. There are some decks that play on the idea of, well, I'll just make do with whatever cards come out, but they tend to be rather advanced. I think for where we are now, it'd be easier if we say, this is what I expect it to do, and we build it with that in mind.
Okay, so I would like to add 2 unity.
Sounds good.
So I'm looking for the ones with the green dot, is that correct?
Greens are influence free for shapers, yeah.
So really I want 2 echelon and 0 carmen.
That would again save you some influence.
It's a bit expensive. Oh well. We'll see. Okay.
So you've now got, okay, Dave, so we should now have, I think, 2 cleavers.
2 cleavers.
2 echelons.
Ah, 2 echelons, okay.
No Marjanars.
Wow, rude.
2 mayflies and 2 unities. Yeah, that's a breaker suite of some description.
Are the numbers okay for that?
I think so. Yeah, it's only a 44 card deck, and it's obviously we're going to need some draw in there to enable you to get to those cards at some point. Yeah. What do you, rather than just saying I like this breaker suite, what do you want this deck to do?
I don't know. I want it to break ice and give me money.
Oh, okay. Now you've seen you're at an advantage as well because you've just seen the list that Dave intends to play. So, do you think that what could you do that will help you against that?
I was actually trying not to listen too closely so it didn't influence what I was going to do.
Very
But
generous.
from what I
okay.
remember, for his ID, you can get the cards back from archive if you score an agenda. And you were saying that you want to score agendas quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the cards were actually that you'd pulled out. And you had some traps?
Be some traps in there too, yeah.
I did.
So your what was it? Your ice was focused towards helping you. No, wait, your ice?
Oh, I think his ice is spread
Yeah.
Yeah.
of all different types, but he's got some very cheap ice and some very expensive ice. No.
And his expensive ice were the Ansels, is that right? Because they were the cheapest.
I had a couple of Bioroids that were pretty expensive.
He's got Brands, he's got Ansels, he's got Pharoses. Now, my concern at the moment is with either Cleaver or Marjanar as your barrier breaker. They're going to be very expensive to break Brands and Pharoses. Now, you've got some Botuluses, fair enough. Maybe you intend to stick a Botulus on one of them. But
I might add a Botulus then, and also add a Mayfly.
Okay.
And then the Mayfly gives me a bit more flexibility. Can currently break Barrier, Sentry, and Code Gate, so I'm sort of covered there, right?
Well, yeah, but they're only one run each. Don't forget. So, but that's fine if you want 3 of them. That's okay. So I think what we're going to have to put in this deck is a lot of memory. So obviously you start at 4 to begin with. If we've got Cleaver, Echelon, Mayfly, and a Unity installed, that's 5 to begin with. If we have Conduit, that's 6. If we have 3 Botuluses, that's 9. I don't even think we can get to 9 MU, but we can probably get up to... Well, we could if we went for Memory Diamonds and DZMs, but...
Optimizer. So I was going to go for at least one DZMZ Optimizer, at least one Memory Diamond. I think Memory Diamond doesn't affect my influence, so I might as well crack 2 in there to get it through. And then does this DZMZ affect it? No. So I'd add another. So I'd have 2 Optimizers and 2 Memory Diamonds.
Okay.
I think Pantograph you said was a good one to have out. So let's.
Yeah, we want to see how Pentagraph goes because it's a good synergy with Tau. So.
I think I'll slip in a cheeky Carnivore, just in case.
No, you won't. No. I
Too
absolutely forbid
expensive
it.
on influence.
It's also rubbish, so let's not do that.
Also, it's a console, which means that if you've got your Pantograph out, can you trash the Pantograph to install a Carnivore instead?
Interestingly, you can now. That's been a recent rule change in Netrunner, because in the past you weren't allowed to do that. But
Sure.
now, if you wanted to, you could do that. But let's not.
No, it's silly.
I don't think there's much value for Carnivore in this list.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got some programs. We've got some hardware to allow us to install these programs. I think we probably need some of those fundamentals now, such as money and draw.
Okay.
All right, so if I want to invent, I'm going to add 3 Creative Commission, 3 Shore Gamble, and 3 VRcations.
Yeah, they're all good old Shaper cards.
And I guess 3 Overclock as well, just get that money rolling.
That makes sense.
I've got a conduit, haven't I? I've got 2 conduits. Maybe I should have a 3rd conduit just in case, because it's so useful.
Yes.
But only if I run R&D. So I need things like Overclock to help me run R&D. I guess 2. I can't have 2 mutual favors because that pushes me over.
It does.
one mutual
You can't
favour?
have one mutual favour because that pushes you over. If you look, it goes red up.
Yeah, it's a
up there.
3-dotter.
3 dots. It's too many.
Oh, what do you
What
have for
about
me?
what about the jailbreaks that we've had in before?
Oh, right, yeah. Let's crack a few jailbreaks.
A few?
What
2 or
do you
3?
have for me? Let's go for 3. Why not? I can adjust them down if I need to. So I've now got 3 Creative Commission, 3 Jailbreak, 3 Overclock, 3 Sure Gamble, 3 VRcation, 2 DZM Optimizers, 2 Pantographs, 2 Memory Diamonds,
Okay.
2 Cleans, 2 Echelon, 3 Mayfly, 2 Unity, 2 Botulus, 2 Conduit.
2 Botulus. Ah, I thought you had 3 Botulus. 2
You want 2
Botulus.
or 3 or Botulus?
2 Botulus would give you room for mutual favour for deck smoothing.
Let's just stick it in there just for fun. See what Mark does. And I can always take it out, right? So
you're going down to 2 Botulus and a mutual favour, okay?
and now onto the resource.
Yeah, why not?
I guess I should pop in telework contract.
Absolutely.
So 3 of those.
I think you want at least 2 verbal plasticities to help with your draw.
Yeah. What's the other one? VRcation.
Although you have got 3 VRcations as well, but I think draw is so limited in Gateway. I think not having a verbal plasticity is a mistake. Okay, so you've got a legal deck now. Is the good news. You've got 40 cards there. You have got 2 influence left. So if there was a card that was worth 2 dots, you could slot one of those in, but obviously you'd want to give up something else like your 3rd Mayfly, which is crazy.
I think I will give up mutual favour.
Oh,
okay.
And I'll put in. How much does that do? That's 3.
So now, if there was one card in the set that had 5 influence, you could put that in.
I want cookbook.
Cookbook.
You want cookbook, okay, to help with your botuluses
and conduits. Oh yeah,
sure, yeah.
I guess I should really have a leech to make that really worthwhile, though, shouldn't I? All right, no cookbook, but red team. Two red team.
Adding a leech is not a bad idea.
Okay.
At any point, to be honest.
Let's go. What was mutual favour? An event.
Yeah.
Right, I've taken you out mutual, and then 2 leeches. And back to right.
Now, how many cards have you got now?
41.
Oh, I added a cookbook. Okay. Have you got a cookbook in there?
I've got 42.
Okay, so.
Oh, but I don't have a red team.
No, well, you can't have a red team now if your influence is full. So if you've got a cookbook and 2 leeches, I think that should take you up to 15 influence.
Yep.
Yeah, it does, and 42 cards. So right, I guess smartware distributors or an extra verbal plasticity, probably smartware distributors, right?
No, you don't want any more cards. You want fewer cards. You only want 40 cards.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted 44.
No, that's the corp.
Wants 44. The runner wants 40.
Because the corp's trying to hide agendas until and there is like a bracket where the number of cards in your deck require a number of agendas to be in it. You want to go right up to the edge of that bracket just before you have to put more agenda points in, just so that you're smelling the next zone, right? Otherwise you end up with your agendas being too easy to find, which really kind of messes you up for smoothing what you're finding, because you have to fit extra cards in.
I guess then I'll reduce it by 1 VR-cation.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and
1 telework contract?
mm,
No.
how many conduits do you have?
2.
Okay. I had 3 on my screen, so I think we must be 1 card different now.
Yeah, so I've got 41 cards.
Yep.
You've got 41, I've only got 40.
All right.
Don't
So
know
I
what
must have 1 different somewhere.
you're missing.
Oh, someone is saying tower with botulus and conduit and cookbook sounds good. Let's see.
Yeah, that's Ed. Ed's giving you some sound advice.
Thank
We've
you,
got
Ed.
Jess as well in there.
Yes, Docklands Pass and telework, and then Docklands. Right. So back to the list.
So
I'll
very
give.
quickly then, how many of each icebreaker have you got?
Okay, 2 cleaver, 2 echelon, 3 mayfly, 2 unity.
Killer
You've got
Mayfly.
3 mayfly, okay. I think if you go down to 2 mayfly, that should get you down to 40 cards.
I don't want to.
Okay, you stick at 3 mayfly, then you tell us what you're going to get rid of. Oh, you've only got 40 cards, is that what you're saying?
No.
You've got 41 like I have, okay.
No, she just doesn't want to get rid of that extra card. That's all.
I
Get
love
rid
my
of a
men.
jailbreak then, or an overclock.
Oh, why are you doing this to me, Mark?
Choices have to be made, Sharon. I mean,
What about
they're not going to
Sharon, why
define the
don't you
future of the world.
Get rid of those 3 sure gambles. You don't
Take all your economy cards out.
You don't need them. You don't need money. That's for corporations. You're cool. You're too cool for money.
I'm going to take out 1 memory diamond.
Wow.
Right.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. So you're on 40 cards and 15 influence, right?
Yes. Oh
Okay.
no! Now I feel bad about my choice.
No, that's all good, all valid. So then you need to save that up as whatever you're calling it.
Episode 5, yeah.
I've called it episode 5. Dave's calling it Sharon's. I can't make that out.
Oh, I've misspelt pile. There we go.
What's the title of the 5th Star Wars movie?
It's the
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, if you're right. So now what you want to do, Dave, is, and Sharon, you need to do this too. Click on the deck that you want to play with. So for Dave, you go for Corp, and then you should have a button there in underneath all that, which is Jinteki.net format, which pops up a little window with it all in text for you. If you highlight all that text and right-click copy, and then I think you know what to do with it.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
We go to deck build, and we paste the list in instead of painstakingly looking in the search.
Don't forget to change your identity and put your format to System Gateway. And it should then tell you that everything is nice and legal.
Format and gateway. Oh, Amor. Where are we? Tau. Longer.
It's totally legal. It's not legal for Classic.
If it's illegal, does it let you save or play with it?
Yes, because you can. If you tried to play with it, it would warn the other person that you're playing an illegal deck. But
so no getting away with it yet. No shenanigans. No slipping some archaic cards in there and being all smug about it. I'm watching you, Gil. Watching you.
Have you managed to get through that, Sharon?
Yep, I'm ready.
Lovely. Right, Dave. I think you know what to do.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Let's go straight to gameplay. And let's start a new game.
babe.
Are you ready?
Oh, no, I don't want to.
Yet.
Did you just
It
join
won't let
somebody
me.
else's game?
I
No, it
almost joined instead, Sharon. You should be able to now.
Well, now it won't let me do it. There we go.
I was so eager, and here I is.
Oh,
Jumped to my own
So
deck.
eager, you almost joined and took some old piece of jank from a previous set, and tried to beat me around the head with it. Okay, you ready? Let's go. Good luck.
Do this. Good luck.
Good luck. Good luck. Have fun.
Thank you. Two.
You're joking. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, that's a little better. Sure.
I'm super nervous now.
Why? Because we both made a pile of dump, and it could be this could be embarrassing dump. Is that what you're saying, Sharon?
No, maybe.
Well, it's natural to feel a little bit invested now because this was your ideas with just some light touches by me. You know, I want to be as open to your ideas as possible until the point where you suggest putting carnivore in a toe deck. So an aggressive start from Dave. That's a piece of ice and an ice behind it already.
Come at me, bro! Come at me!
A piece of ice and an ice behind it?
Yeah.
And a card behind
And
it.
a
not an
card
ice
behind it. I'm so confident in that play that I'm going to get a celebratory beer already for
Wow.
for celebrating.
How do you spell hubris?
I've spelt it before. I can spell it again. I'm in fact an expert at spelling hubris.
Right.
So Sharon's not rising to your shenanigans, Dave. She's just going to get set up.
Come on! I can't believe you don't want to immediately. Wait,
I
what?
like David that you hoodies foreshadowing the little GIF you're going to have to put on the screen at the end of this game.
Funny story. Let's get some points on the board.
Oh,
Interesting.
Let's go with this. Let's go with this. I'll have that one back. Cheers. Turn 2.
And you get to draw 2 cards, a superconducting hub, so yeah.
Hell yes.
Now, what you're going to do with those 2 clicks you've got left.
Let's have a look. Timecodes, 3 cards. 3 cards. I'd get 3 off of that. Which leave me 3. Okay, let's go. Hootie hoo. There we go.
And I can't even move any goddamn ice, can I?
No, I've only got the one.
Now you can swap the 1 for the 1, yeah. That's very rude indeed.
And my next plan is to put another ice on that server and nothing else. It's the worst plan ever. This is the worst plan ever. Okay. I mean, no further actions, really.
Fingers crossed.
Good luck. I hope it's my only send a message.
How are you, Resis?
Ed, it's all aggression all the time. That's all I've got. But I've got no skill, so it's got to be aggression. Oh, ooh. Okay, sure. That seems pretty strong. Sure. Yeah, that seems valuable. Yeah, sure. Sure. What a lot of
Look at your mighty hand size, though, Dave. Now
what a lot of good
you
jobs.
started off with 6. You score a superconducting club. You can have 8 cards in hand. Now.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Straight away, 8 cards in hand, and I haven't filled it up.
Yeah.
I still haven't filled it.
It's lending itself nicely to your combo wombo tendencies.
I don't know what you're talking about. Combo wombo tendencies. That seems rude of you to say so, but you're correct, of course. Yeah, absolutely correct.
Oh gosh, I missed a trick.
Okay. Sorry, I'll stop blowing into my microphone unnecessarily. Yes, correct. Okay, now.
Tread lightly. That's the card I forgot about.
And I want that. Good luck running R&D.
I mean, all right. There we go. Got me a few cards. Whew.
Nice, and some
Dave.
credits. Oh, okay, sure. That was wow. A sure gamble and a VRcation. Okay.
It's an interesting clash of styles here now. So what I think what Sharon's doing is she's playing the game that we've played for the last couple of weeks. She's getting nice and set up. She's getting some money. And Dave's going, I've got some new toys to play with. Hell to all we've learned so far. I'm just going to stick stuff in this remote.
Durdle Turtle is rubbish. Let's go.
And 16 credits now as well. Yikes.
Yes! Money! Who does not love the money? Sharon, you remember in week 2, I think it was week 2, when you said, hey, is there such a thing as speed chess Netrunner? Off! Oh, I can't believe it. The meat damage.
Wait, can I move ice from one server to another?
You could.
No,
If there was ice on another server.
you can swap ice with ice. You can't shift it across. That sounds like something they would have made in a much less balanced cycle. Moving ice away.
Yeah, you can't just move it to wherever you want. It can only swap to from. So you can swap the order of those two if that was in any way relevant.
Yeah, Mark, you're going to be so disappointed in me.
No, that's because I saw how that happened. I would have been otherwise, yes, but
How did that happen?
you just drew that off the jailbreak. So if you hadn't jailbreaked, you wouldn't have had it in your hand.
Oh.
I mean, you could have drawn first and then installed it and then jailbreaked, and I would have been delighted. But
Okay. One click left. Start turn. Oof, yeah. Oh yeah. Let's friggin' go. Okay, Sharon, your go.
Right.
Oh my word. Oh, I need another cheap agenda quick. Oh.
Now, I know what you had.
Yes.
I know what you had on coming up, but I don't know what you've played.
You can look in my archives to see what's dead by clicking on it, and then you click on it again to get rid of it.
I mean the card that came out of your R&D.
So she's saying, I think she's saying, correct me if I'm wrong, Sharon, she saw an ice on R&D when she ran it. Now, is that the ice that you installed on R&D, or did you already have another one in hand? Is the big question.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to tell you, apparently, because it's game-losing information, which is bullshit. Right? Yeah. If I want to tell you I may have had 2 ice in hand, then I should be allowed to say that. But I'm not saying anything.
You can say I may have had 2 ice in hand, as that is a very non-committal statement.
Well, I'm nothing if not non-committal. That's for sure. Or is it? I can't decide.
Sharon's going for the blind Botulus install.
Botulus on the whatever.
Aggression.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, I can take that. Yep. Yep.
Did I should know this, right? Did you have the cards which give me a tag? I don't think you did, because you don't have the identity which preys on tags.
I didn't go for a tag heavy deck. No. If that helps. I mean, the deck list should be available to you probably at all time. That's public information, right, Mark?
Your deck list.
But yeah, if you
it would have been public information if Sharon hadn't decided that she was taking some sort of high ground and not looking at your screen while we were discussing it.
For sure.
I have a crack at this. Right, so you did, didn't you?
I rezzed it.
You rezzed it.
It's not too bad at the moment. I mean, it'll cost you 6 with Cleaver, which is a lot, but...
I regret this. That is a lot of money.
Good luck.
But I did get a card. Oh, yes. I did get a card back.
Very true.
Okay. So, I've only got 7 cards in hand. That superconducting hub's not really doing its work. So I tell you what. Let's gain some money back, because I spent quite big last turn.
You've got 19 credits is a lot, Dave.
Let's advance
at the moment,
that.
A lot. Oh.
Let's also seamless launch that.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, that makes it very, very expensive for Cleaver, but it's already got a Botulus on it.
It has.
So, okay, that's interesting.
Okay.
Over to you, Sharon.
Right. Draw cards, Sharon, before you do anything else. I mean, try and build that money back up. Do I have one of these out?
One thing for you to think about, Sharon, is that, well, if you'd seen all of Dave's list, you'd know that there's no real way for Dave to trash your cards. There's no retribution in there. There's no...
How dare you say that?
So you don't really need spare copies of Ice, because unless you faceplant an Ansel, which I think would let you trash one, if I remember Ansel's subroutines correctly,
yeah,
that you're just going to be fine with the ones you've already got installed.
So is that okay then? So then I've got Sentry Code Gate and Barrier Breaker.
You've got all your breakers out now, so as long as you've got the money to pay for them, you've...
Of course I don't, Mark. You know that I can only deal with one strategy at a time.
Correct. Right.
Right, please. I can barely function as a responsible adult.
Wow.
Also correct.
I'm pretty sure.
Should we tell the people listening what you do as a job, Sharon, when you make statements like that?
I mean, the only what's that word? Exclusion? Exemption to that is my work, which I love. Which makes me
We'll save that for a different stream.
bridges of the country.
Bridges of the land.
Mark, I think you said something, but I didn't hear you.
Mark said we'll save your shenanigans for another time. For what you do and why it should worry people.
Now, if you don't have retributions, I don't really care about getting tagged.
Seems rude.
Yes. Yes.
Oh. MU alarm.
Oh no, -2 MU. Do you want to undo those clicks?
I think I can only undo one.
You can only undo one with undo click. The second you'd have to undo manually by dragging it back to hand and adding clicks, etc.
Okay, so
which we're okay with doing. Go for it. It's a learning process.
And a credit.
Sure.
Is that right?
I think that's right.
It's plus one each. I started with 3 credits and 4 cards. I drew.
Yep.
So I should only have 3 credits, right?
Yeah. Wait. Should you?
Yes, because your undo click got you the one back you spent on the second leech.
Oh, of course.
Why did I pay 0 credits to install the first one?
Because you have out a DMZ optimizer, and the first program you install each turn costs 1 credit less to install.
Right, you are, Dave. Right. You in.
Oh, telework contract, eh? Who doesn't love money? Okay.
Right. Well, Dave, let's have a go.
Jailbreak?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Well, spend those botulus.
What shall
I think I'm going. Oh, yep. So I've broken them all. Now just walk through?
Yeah. Oh, none. Oh, come on.
Oh, no. You've taken Dave's favourite card.
Balls! Absolute balls. 1 in 29 chance of it happening. You hate to see it. Okay.
1 in 20.
Right.
Oh.
Start the turn. Mandatory draw. Hit that. Hit seamless launch. Oh! Unexpected extra go?
Well,
Why unexpected?
You played Hedge Fund and played Seamless Launch.
Yeah, I for some reason thought I'd be... Oh, no, I know why it was unexpected.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
There we go.
Let's use Corp Basic. Okay. Well.
Well. Okay. Oh.
Wow. 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 What? Can you even afford this, Sharon? Have you thought this through?
No.
She's got
It's
11
a 10.
credits and it's a barrier.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot. Should I just go through and deal with being stupid, or?
Wait, forgot what? Can't you afford this? 1, 2. Oh shit! Oh shit! It's strength 10. Oh
Yeah.
shit!
That would be 14 to match strength, and then 2 to break.
Christ Almighty! Yeah, just undo the click. You can't take that on. Like
Thanks, Dave.
that's not. Don't. Yeah, that's outrageous.
I just let the subroutines fire, so I'd get a tag, and I'd just have to.
No, use the botulus to get rid of the subroutine that tags you, because you don't want me getting rid of your verbal plasticity, because I fucking will. Because I'm rich as balls. So instead, you'd use your botulus to get rid of the give a runner a tag bit.
Is that how you use trash a resource? The person has to have a tag?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I remember you telling me that, Mark, and then I also remember playing a game and having known I'd forgotten that key piece of information. So, thank you.
Hey, we're here to remember things.
Indeed we are.
Remind you of things.
Jessica, that relies on the runner getting money and not dying immediately.
Excellent. Oh, I could have put the leech out into the pen.
Once you put the pantograph down, you had the extra memory, so...
Oh, of course.
Ruh-roh indeed. Wait, what do you mean it's looking tough for the Corp Head? She's just got a full suite of icebreakers and a lot of synergy.
When did you put that in 31? What the hell, Dave?
Shit. I mean, oops. Okay.
What the hell is that?
When did you put it in server 1? Well, before we put all those 4 advancements on it, certainly.
Yep, for sure.
Finishing that well, I was trying to read my cards.
Oh! You're out of
click.
clicks, are you ready?
Yeah. Was it an Ertica cipher? You didn't have an Ertica cipher. But I think you had the other one, didn't you?
Let's do some of that for a start.
Oh. That's 2 overclocks a leech and a mayfly in the bin.
Ayo! Yes! Cash money! Value! Okay,
It's a nice little combo play, Dave. I've got to give you that.
interesting.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay, go.
You've got a little warning message in the corner of your screen, Dave, top right, if you just want to delete that.
Oh yeah, let's kill that away. There we go.
What's the warning?
It was it reminded me that I was allowed to res stuff in between turns. Because timing wise, I needed to res that card before I could pop it off, essentially. And so it was just letting me know that my mandatory draw action had appeared as a button, and I would have to click it if I wanted to use it.
It's just one of the finagles of Jinteki. There is no period in real life. There is no period in between starting your turn and doing things, but in Jinteki there is. So you're not supposed to do anything there. But obviously in real life, if you've said, I'm about to start my turn, and you still haven't done anything, then people would still let you do things. If you took your mandatory draw and then said, oh, can I undo things, can I do whatever, then people might have a bigger problem with that.
Crap, Dave, I wanted to run your HQ.
No.
Why would you do that?
I'm a monster. No.
What do you has made you draw?
You have a certain move that you really should consider here, Sharon.
I'm going to, and I think how many jobs? Killed one off. One click. All right. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Before you do that, do you want that to be a normal run or do you want it to be a conduit run?
Oh, I want it to be a conduit run.
Then you must click conduit before you set off, so you have to undo click.
So undo click.
Smart. I've reached my average of 3 undo clicks a game now. It does say toggle auto resolve on conduit, but every other time I thought I'd just made a run and at the end it's asked if I wanted to use conduit. Or is that wrong?
There are 2 effects on the card. One of them has a whenever, which means it's triggered by something. That is triggered by a successful run. Okay, so the whenever is after you've finished a successful run. It does the effect there. In this case, that is let's have a look. Place a virus counter on the program. Okay, and now the other effect costs a click, and it says run R&D, and if successful, access X cards. X is equal to the number of hosted virus counters, which means that it increases the number of cards that you're accessing as a result of the run, but it costs a click to do it. So you have to click on conduit in order to pay the click for it.
Thank you.
Because otherwise,
so if you put
who knows what you're doing.
If you turn the auto resolve on, it will automatically get a virus token every turn, but you can't auto resolve the click ability.
No, I understand now. Thank you. And the last time I used jailbreak, so it wasn't an option.
Yeah.
All right. I am making a run. Please, may I encounter your ice?
Mm-hmm. Go for it. Botchlist. No further actions. Oh, that was close. Oh, that was close. That was close. Unfortunately, my deck is stuffed to the gills with crap agendas.
It's asked if I wanted which ability I wanted to use, pantograph, or was it an or Tal? What's his face?
So you get to
both.
use
them both, but it's asking you which one you want to go first.
Which order you do them is important.
So Toe is going to swap the ice around if you want to, and Pantograph is going to gain you a credit and then allow you to install a card if you want to.
Interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Oh shit, is that another Pharos?
We don't know. Well, we do, but we can't say.
We do, but we shouldn't say.
It's like when Mark accidentally said I had a really good set of cards in my hand.
A reference, Sharon, that was the exact click you needed to take then, so well done for doing that. I would have done it on click 3 in case something went wrong and you wanted to adjust things, but nonetheless.
Well, it was the subtle hints that you were giving me about particular actions or having actions that I should be considering without telling me which ones. Hey, what's this on server 2? Hey, what's this on server on R&D?
Stuff you don't need to worry too much about it.
A quick shuffle from Spin Doctor. Interesting.
Oh.
Getting 2 sprints back. Oh, it's unusual, but I can see where you're going with it.
Where is he going with it?
Got to go
3,
fast,
2.
Sharon.
Right into his R&D.
Okay.
Correct.
I mean, I do have 14 credits now.
Now, what has Spin Doctor done, Sharon, importantly?
It's meant that he could get 2 cards from archives into R&D, but I stupidly didn't have his archives open, so I don't know which 2.
You can see what they are in the chat log. It says sprint and sprint.
Put
Yeah.
sprint into his R&D. Now, quickly, does that mean that the whole R&D deck has been shuffled, or just that those 2 cards have been slotted in somewhere?
It's all
It
been
absolutely
shuffled.
means the former.
Which means whatever you looked at previously is a lie. It's a mystery. There could be anything on top. Like another agenda.
Yeah. It would be a particularly good time to see 4 new cards in R&D, I would have thought.
Yeah.
It would be.
Oh, little white space.
A little white space.
You are a code gate. I can use Unity.
It's a single credit. We'll do it.
Pay the once. Break them twice? Oh no, it's got 2 subs. Oh wait, but the second one you don't care about.
Not with 13 credits in the pocket.
Yeah, sure.
And continue. Show me what the card is.
Was swapping the Pharos the right thing to do? Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
That's a little balanced.
Incredible. Bloody typical.
Sick.
Cool.
Right. Yep. Nope. Nope.
Oh, skunk works.
Rubbish.
Dang.
Now, Sharon, what do you think it should do next?
I think I should run R&D again.
Oh, well, don't let me stop you.
Wait, I don't know. Should I?
You absolutely should, yeah. It's costing you 2 credits to make a run. And you're going to see 2 new cards, maybe.
Yeah, it's cheap as chips.
Sorry, it takes me a while. Code gate, Unity.
Cool. There we go.
Barrier. What? Use conduit?
I see.
Let me see one card.
Sorry?
It only let me see 1 card.
Is that because you made a normal run in R&D rather than
Did you remember to click on conduit to run?
No, of course I didn't.
Well, click on conduit to run now, and this time you'll see 3 new cards.
Cool.
Right. I will learn, and I deserve to suffer.
No, because I played the first time I played with conduit in a tournament. I did this pretty much 4 times every game, so this happens to everyone.
Code gate. Gate is Unity. 3. Fire. 5.
Here we go.
And then cleaver. Okay.
There it is. Last card as well.
Oh well. Sure thing.
So were you getting so what did you have? You had a regolith mining license, You had the thing that damaged me, Clearinghouse. And I'm surprised you didn't just wait a couple more turns, Dave.
So problematically, looking at the ice on the side and the way everyone was talking, it smelt like you were going to just assault my license, because as soon as, or the clearinghouse, because as soon as I get enough damage on there, 6 damage to hurt you, you run it, because otherwise you're a mug. You're dead if you don't run it and run it successfully. You had already flashed that you had a free 5 credits to go through there at the side, and 5 credits would have enabled you to bust through the barrier, the code gate, and the sentry. I'm pretty sure you would have had enough to break through.
But I think when you had that out, I only had. What did I have out?
You would have had 13 credits total, I think.
What you didn't have leech at that point.
No.
It would have been expensive for you to deal with 2 palisades, which I think they've had.
Yeah.
But you probably would have just got through.
I had one.
Oh, that isn't a palisade. That's
I had a
tithe,
a white space, and a palisade. I had one of each.
Oh well, yeah, you would have definitely got through then, I think.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting play, because yes, the conventional thing is build up to it's going to be until it's a kill shot and then fire it. But as Dave just explained, after he saw the overclock, that was going to be very, very difficult. So firing it to hit the overclocks and then try to push out in the remote straight after that was an interesting idea. Now, what I was a little confused by, Dave, is you used the sprint, which drew you a off-world office, but then you went for the Urtica cipher. Was that because you thought?
Because I thought I was coming straight out the back of this being very assaultable.
That an Urtica cipher?
That's an Urtica cipher there, yeah. And so I figured that because this was so assaultable, if I then put the Urtica down there and started to advance it, it would be a tempting target. But I didn't advance it very much because R&D started to get hammered, and I needed to put some protection in the way and do some stuff about that.
See, I was prepared because you had 3 ice there. I was like, there's no way I can get through that because I don't have enough credits if there's some beefy cards.
You never even looked at it, though. You've got to look at it.
That's the fun of Netrunner, right?
Yeah.
Because Dave's like trying to poker face because he's got nothing there, just a cheap selection of rubbish.
Crap.
And you're thinking, oh no, that's going to be 2 Ansels and a brand. And you're like, no, what's it going to be?
I poker face myself out of that, I think, which is at least the second time that's happened. Where I've played it so close to my chest that it's looked like a much better play, and I wanted it to look a lot weaker.
The chat as well is saying that they knew that the remote was breachable, but I didn't. So
yeah.
Jessica's exactly right.
Slightly more worried there, Dave.
Yeah.
The one of the big mistakes that runners make early in the play experience is they think, every ice is lethal. I better install every breaker I've got before I do anything. Whereas, in reality, very few, well, not very few, there are lots of lethal pieces of ice, but there are lots of inconsequential pieces of ice as well. So, if you know a person's list and you know how much enemy credits they've got and that type of thing, you're just going to make calculated guesses. So
if you've got cards in hand, you can take damage, right? These are all resources that you can use for information finding. So if you do take a punt to the chin from some Karkar ice and then a flipping Urtica at the end of it, as long as you've got a card advantage, like a good grip, you should be okay. And you've kicked off the Urtica, got rid of that, or you've seen that the ice is dangerous along the way, and so now you know how to deal with it. Like, information is
the
key.
Most lethal or dangerous piece of ice at the minute is probably Ansel, and if you're wrong click 1, you can always click through Ansel So, you know, you've...
Yeah, Ansel's installed on my HQ. Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Yeah.
you were making jokes about trashing a card of mine, Dave, but I didn't know you had Ansel.
Oh, for sure. And mostly, I was talking about the tag situation because you were like, I will avoid getting that tag. If you'd picked up that tag, I absolutely would have killed off verbal plasticity with it.
Yeah.
Because verbal plasticity gives you grip, and at the time, grip was giving you hit points that I couldn't get through with my clearinghouse. So I would have happily beaten the crap out of verbal plasticity.
Yeah, that would definitely slowed me down.
Yeah, it might have led to your death.
Do you two want to go again, since we don't have as much gameplay tonight?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just while you're restarting, I will disappear for a sec. But you know what you're doing.
Dave, do you want me to send you my deck list?
Oh, do you want to swap ends?
Yours. Swap round.
Yeah, we can. Oh, excuse me. We can swap ends if you like. I've got your deck list already.
All right, Mr. Fancy Pants. I pay attention.
I kind of built it whilst you were building it. I copied it into my Netrunner DB.
What would you have made? What would you do with that sort of? Are there any tweaks that? Never mind. I'll ask you at the end of the game.
Okay. Well, let me play it first. Let me see how it goes.
Explode Dave's. Oh. Where has Mark gone? Is he gone to get a big top up? Whoa.
It is Tai Tau Salonga System Gateway.
Which Star Wars movie is Revenge of the Sith?
It is the second. No. Revenge of the Sith? Is it the second or third one? Episode 2, I think, or episode 3? No, Attack of the Clones is... Wait, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. It's episode 3.
Then I can't name this deck Revenge of the Dave. Very disappointing.
Because is that because this is the 5th episode? You've already used the Empire Strikes Back, haven't you?
Oh, no, I haven't, because I went for a Star Trek.
Oh, okay. Well, Empire is the name of the 5th film.
If the Dave Strikes Back. I mean, only I see this, so I might as well make it amusing for myself.
I've done the same, except unfortunately, all of the it's a prequel. It doesn't exist. True. Also, sequels they don't happen either. Yeah, I named mine to amuse myself as well, but I just realised it's on stream, so.
Wait a minute, Dave. Sharon's good. Sharon's goofy old whatever.
Sharon's grody old whatever is gross at the moment in it deck. I think is what I've called it.
Wait, where should I go for the deck for the list?
Oh, sorry. Yes, hang on. Let me just copy and paste this deck into
which has spiral.
Somewhere useful. Copy.
Precision design.
Okay.
HBPD, as it abbreviates to, not to be confused with NAPD, who are the police in the Android world.
There you go, Sharon. I should have sent that over to you now.
Beautiful. Got it. Oh, look at that. Number 1, luminal transubstantiation.
Can't believe you flipping plucked that. Second thing. So really looking forward to all those clicks. All those clicks.
You had lots of money, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of card draw to be able to chuck stuff around and sift. Well, it's more scrying, so it's kind of sifting, and then the rest of it is pretty is basically a bunch of cash and desperately trying to get as many small agendas scored as possible, which is great until you go through it plucking very few agendas.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
No, that was because you were plucking them off the top of my deck instead.
Oh yeah, that too. I had a game, I think it was against you, Mark, and all of my money cards were right at the end. And so I was desperate for money. Disappointing.
Just opened a new beer, and
Yeah.
the stream won't really be able to see this, but it's kind of a Ginteki themed can. Some cherry blossoms and whatnot out on the label there.
If you were to turn that into a card, what card would it be?
Oh, well, it's even better. The beer's called Glass House, which sounds like it should be a card anyway. And it's going to be a trap of some description to represent the glass house collapsing down on them.
Throwing stones. It should react to you throwing stones somehow.
But most bizarrely, even though it's just described as like a normal IPA, it tastes exactly like popcorn.
You know, they're classic popcorn IPA.
Well, quite, yeah. Anyway, back to the Netrunner.
Yeah.
We'll save the beer stream for some other time.
Sharon, that's the wrong move. You want to go more aggressive than that. Sharon, res something in your external server and score it almost immediately. Otherwise, you're just not going fast enough. You've got to go fast.
What?
I
can't keep up, Dave. I can't keep up.
But the deck's meant to go fast. Go fast, except it doesn't. I got dirtily in the middle where I was excited about getting so much cash. I just allowed the deck to wingle its way out.
It only goes fast if you have ice and money, right?
Yeah, I needed card draw.
What you've got to do
with
this, I think, with this deck, Sharon, as Dave explained already, it's only got money, draw, agendas, and ice. So basically, you have got to win before the runner gets fully set up and puts you under immense amount of pressure, because it's going to be very, very difficult to do anything once they're fully set up. So there is an emphasis on you to go fairly fast, but going too fast will, you'll come undone. So.
There we go.
You there?
I wonder what that could be.
Wait, do you only have one thing that you can do that with? Do you only have one?
One what?
One upgrade, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you can break a barrier. I mean, if I said that's good for me. How come you got to see 2 cards in HP?
It was a jailbreak.
Because I did a jailbreaking, yeah.
I do really, I know I've said it before, but I very much like this sort of text history window.
Yeah, well, I mean, even when you're not a new player, Jinteki is very easy to just sort of take your eyes off for a few seconds, and then if it was a case of, wait, what happened? And you just have to work it out yourself, it'd be a nightmare.
In a normal face-to-face game, you'd have someone narrating their actions, and you'd be spending your time staring at your cards, going, What am I going to do next turn?
Yeah, in real life play, there's like an Alexa next to you who's reading out everything that's happening for you.
Yeah.
What? So that like literally, there's a commentator.
No, the other player.
I mean, in my description, yes, but that was a joke. So we're clear, no one commentates on your game sat next to you.
Oh, Sharon, you missed. Can you just drag that across?
No, you can't. You can't drag and drop into a new server. You can only drag to archives or your hand.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Yeah, Jessica's saying in chat that keeping things in your head that you play online is very difficult, but playing in real life where you're paying more attention is a lot easier.
It's a sentry.
Oh wait. Yeah. Beer is so delicious. Do I have to res this, Mark?
Yes.
Bloody Urtica cipher straight away. Nice.
No.
Good job. Oh, no. Okay.
In fact, you might. Let's see if it works. I'm not sure.
Skunk works.
Is it asking you to pay 5 or do 2 clicks?
I can pay 3 to trash it.
No, because it's jumped that window then. So what it actually should say to you, Dave, is
I will spend 2 clicks to do it. Okay. I'll
Okay.
spend them afterwards. There you go.
Oh.
Cool. Right. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Let's try this.
That was a bold move, Cotton.
Well, I get an extra cash from the overclock. I just want to see what's in front of it. I'm not going to pussyfoot around it and be scared of it all my life. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. How expensive is that to res, Sharon? Is that, by any chance, a giant Feros there in front of that? Well, tar very much, I guess.
Maybe I just want to keep my money, Dave.
Yeah,
Have
maybe you want to
that?
waste my 5 credits. That seems pointless. I really hope there's something in there big that I can trash. That's all. That's all. Come on, let me in.
What? Oh, sorry.
Little pig.
No.
Let me come in. Yoink!
Oh, mother fudger! I wanted those 7 credits.
What? Oh,
It was a bold run, but it was a
how come?
the
What?
right time.
How come I can't select ice? Hang on. I
Why
want
would
to.
you select that?
Oh, does it have to be? Did that work?
Yes.
Ice protecting R&D at position 0 and ice protecting HQ at position 0. Okay, sure. It's the end of that. Oh, bugger it. Oh, yeah, of course, I paid 2 to friggin' access a Skunk Works.
I mean... Really?
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh! Do you know the card selection that you have? A lot of them have got the same background colour.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
common now that we're playing with identities.
Because their influence was cheap to do.
So an HB deck should have
Oh,
a lot of HB cards in it.
yeah.
It's going to have a lot of neutral cards in it as well. But
Excuse me. So what does this do? Yes, I think I will.
you've just got 3 extra clicks.
I have, haven't I?
Boo! Boo!
Now, what does the runner have to do to resolve pending triggers?
So because you've scored an agenda, Dave has the option to tow as well again, to swap some ice around.
Ah, I see. Do you want to swap the ice in front of HQ and R&D again?
No, not quite. I swap whatever it was that you'd put in front of server 1 and R&D. Because like a game of deal or no deal, if you get the option to swap the box, you always swap the box.
Oh, you've done Dave's favourite move.
I know, that's
Bollocks.
quite...
I'm so butthurt right now. I'm so annoyed. Hang on. There's someone at my door. I'm that mad. Bear with me.
Someone at the door? Wait, what?
What? Where's he gone?
He said someone's at his door at 10:40 at night.
Yes, that is correct. Because my neighbours and me don't go to sleep. We all live on a giant student estate. Guess what just arrived?
Netrunner cards.
Yeah, it's a pack of cards. It's a huge pack of cards. Right, what did I miss? Okay. Oh, bollocks. Right, fine. Yeah, sure, whatever. Sharon, if that is your real
Sharon
name.
had this good idea that after you've scored a lumino transubstantiation, you can install a regolith and take loads of credits off it.
Wow, what a concept! Can you imagine?
I don't know if you're being sarcastic now or not.
I congratulate you on your amazing play.
Dave put regolith mining license in the deck just so he could try and do that, and he beat him to the
really?
Bullshit.
Oh.
Straight up BS.
The bloody order of the cards coming out correctly. Never mind.
I'm so butthurt. I can't even begin to explain how butthurt I am. Okay, fine. Yep. And then bugger it, Millennium Hand and Shrimp. Well, at least I know what that one is, and it's worth rezzing that on, or installing that on. Hopefully.
I don't want to play too many mind games, Dave, but you're over MU, so that's not a mind game, that's just a real thing.
Okay.
I've already started.
I've done it.
Hang on.
Wait.
What do I do? Do I undo? Let me undo click.
No, don't. Don't bother. There you go. And I can't draw I'll just lose a click. Who cares? Go.
Oh, take your credits at least.
Yeah, I took my credits back.
No, I mean, pretend that your last click was click for credit. Then.
Draw a credit.
Yeah.
Good call. There we go.
It's undo click. I'll undo a click and then it will be reset to the start of the turn, right?
No, it's undo is it undo turn? To get back to
mine? We can do
mine?
undo turn and then undo click and all sorts, but...
Yeah. No, it's not worth it.
Now.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Yeah.
This could be the move that turns the game, Dave.
No, I would have done this anyway.
You might end up drawing a sure gamble or something.
No. That's unlikely as all hell. There we go.
Alright, so I used to click on regolith mining license, I used another one.
Hi Garlic, thanks for joining us. You're just seeing
Yeah, that is what I'm hoping, is that Sharon just goes whoosh straight to the finish line, no wuckers, just easy flipping scores.
it would just validate your deck design, Dave.
Absolutely, and it means that last time I just got a resource screwed, and my deck design is brilliant because it's brilliant. It's a work of art.
Wouldn't it be funny, Dave, if I had another regular mining line?
It wouldn't be as funny. It would be pretty amusing.
We're having a lot of fun here with System Gateway, where this is the first time that these two have made attempts at brewing their own decks. So we're seeing Toe and HB go toe-to-toe.
Brewing like terrible flatulence. Oh, hang on. Yeah. Okay. Thank goodness for autocomplete. Sorry, I'm just gonna quickly goof that back. Hit this up. No!
Ah.
No! I've done it again!
I bet you've got the MUs for that.
No, I do not. Sharon, you've made a
got
deck
that
with
mayfly hogging all the MU.
You've made a deck with no flipping MUs in it that I can get out. Okay, yep. It's a good shout. Right.
You have to draw the card back into your deck hand.
Which one? It's gone.
It's in your play area.
I did an undo click. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, of course. And then...
Otherwise, I'll take it, and then you'll be buggered.
Oh, no. Wait. Yes. Correct. That is correct. That's what I wanted to do. Yep. There we go. Let's try it out. Let's see what's there. Let's see if I can get rid of my mayfly again on another century. Wow! Wow. Wow. Another century.
You got your wish. And you know what's really upsetting you, Steve? You put that sentry there.
Bloody did. Okay, sure. There we go. I have no further.
The strategy behind this runner deck, Garlic, is largely just good stuff shaper with some cleavers with a bit of virus supporting as well, and trying to win off conduit. But Dave hasn't found his conduit yet.
Oh, come on, Dave.
Oh, fuck off. I'm allowed to do things, then I'll just switch it around. Yeah, one of these days. What about that one?
You dick. I've just been waiting for those. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
Oh, rip 2 agendas. That was a good time to make a jailbreak.
That was a cracking jailbreak.
Oh, and you've swapped things around.
You know what? I don't care. Whatever.
Cleaver is primarily in the deck because it isn't Marginar, who we want something to break barriers with.
I don't know. I don't think Marginar's so trash. Marginar's kind of like a derpy mayfly. Like...
Well, there have been times in it. So Marginar is like a modern version of an old card called Inti. And Inti was very popular when barriers were not popular because you just kind of kept it in your back pocket as a. I don't really expect to install this, but if someone is playing a barrier, I will do because it's very cheap and it'll probably get me out in a pinch. So I think the thought behind it is that similar thing. It will break it if you need to. It's just not very efficient.
Yeah.
Now, of course, in System Gateway, you only have 2 of each type of icebreaker to choose from. So your options are the blunt instrument of Cleaver or the light, delicate Marginar. And I think in most situations, Cleaver is better.
Right, let's try that.
Well, in the chat now, we've got a discussion of how Tao's ability to work. I think we're on the verge of someone saying it's a very egregious design.
It is egregious.
Oh, damn it.
It's rude.
I forgot God damn it, pantograph.
It is rude.
The funniest use of it I've ever seen was from Rotage, who very rudely was playing an Apocalypse deck, and I mentioned Apocalypse last week. It's a card that's in Standard, which basically blows up all your board. And he ran into HQ trying to do his Apocalypse runs.
Yeah.
And the Corp provided a card called Drafter. And the power of Drafter is it fits into the HB playstyle. It reinstalls cards from archives.
Ooh.
So he said, okay, Drafter can fire. So you can reinstall something, because I'm going to blow it up in a second. And we got into HQ, accidentally stole an agenda.
Accidentally?
Well, it wasn't trying to steal an agenda at that point. He was just trying to do the Apocalypse. And then he used the Tow ability to put Drafter onto R&D so he could run there next. Let it fire again. Let it install another card that he was going to blow up. And then blew them all up. So it was like the ultimate rudeness. If it was any other piece of ice, it would have been a problem. But that one was just making it sadder for what was going to get blown up.
So you're running Jailbreak with 1 credit.
Yes.
Okay. And you can do that actually because you have the Echelon card, but that only lets you break 1 sentry subroutine.
Yep. If I even give a flying car. But I do. I'm going to break 1.
Right.
Oh, wait.
You could even.
I've got to continue to undo the. There we go. Right, here we go. Oh. And then...
Wait, do I have...
Good. Congratulations on your free credit.
Yes, give me the credit.
Give me the credit. Okay.
Wait, where did Italian Sharon come from then?
It's actually meant to be Spanish Sharon.
Come on.
You know,
Come on, give me that chunky piece of... No.
Oh, no. I see. Dave's got white line fever. I understand now.
What? No, so the sad part is there. I needed to install 1 more piece of software, and I would have zeroed out. If I'd scored an agenda there, that would have been achievement unlocked. No credits, no clicks, no MU, no nothing. I was going for it, Mark. You'd have been proud of me.
I would have. There would have been virtual high fives for that.
Yeah, I'm going for it again, you know. Next turn, I'm spending all my credits on installing something.
Oh, and that puts it onto 6-5.
Oh, that's close.
Dave gets a tag, but I don't think that's going to do much. Doesn't even have any resources installed.
What does Haspiroid let me do again? Maximum add 1 card from...
You get to search your archives for a card that you then want to put in your hand.
So you can have your Seamless Launchback, or maybe your Spin Doctor, or maybe your Skunk Works.
Cool.
Gimme.
No, because I can't afford it. Yes, I want to swap 2 ice. These 2. Yeah. Correct. Right. Okay.
Don't want to waste that idea ability.
No, 2 right.
Aaron's so rich, though. Yeah, it's certainly correct to keep the tithe out rather than risk it being something even more expensive.
Oh, should I get another beer? Guess it's a Wednesday.
Wednesday's the new Friday, they say.
It's the second half of the week already, which
sorry.
means it's almost the end of the week.
Miscounts. Okay. Now I go and run HQ.
Are you going to give me some money?
Sharon, if
Yeah?
you want to res your upgrade on HQ, you must res that before Dave passes the tithe.
So I'm clicking let unbroken thingies, but you want to pay for Funkworks. Cool. Pass ice and continue. Spend 2 clicks. Access the server. Come on, get lucky. Come on, get lucky. Come on, get lucky. Bum. No action.
Back from archives as quick as I could.
Okay, sure. Sure. Oh, there's a lot of cards in hand there. Oh.
Quite pleased with this.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to get another one.
Run HQ. Did Sharon literally just go to get a beer? Did she not understand we're playing speedrunner here?
Ice takes Netrunner.
Net sprinter.
Yeah, but you realise my fridge is over there because I'm in a tiny flat. Also, they now do giant Corona bottles that make you look like the bottle's a giant and you're the bottle of a giant.
And you're tiny.
Do you know what?
Sharon.
If you and Mark held this bottle, you would look like the size of regular human beings.
Suggesting that we're inordinately large as opposed to you being particularly small.
Yeah, you've taken my sizes joke and turned it against me.
I have huge hands, so...
Oh, particularly small. Sharon, I want to access your HQ.
Sorry,
can we facilitate this?
Yes.
You're just holding me up with beering now. I approach tithe. I break 1 sentry routine. I'm done here. Show me what is in your hand, Sharon. Card from hand. Oh, balls! Fine. I get it. I understand I got excited and I was gambling. That was gambling. I get everything I deserve there. Oh, Jesus Christ. 24 credits. Do you want to calm down?
Aaron will not be drawn on.
Oh, no. Wait.
Going low on credits.
She keeps drawing 1 card. She's got no agendas in hand. Ladies and gentlespoons. Oh, no. There's an agenda in hand now. Otherwise, there wouldn't be extra protection on HQ. Right. Okay, I get it. I am a poor boy.
And you have a tag, Dave.
Yeah, tags sound bad, but whatever. So do credits. Credits are for corporations. Oh, I see how it is. Fine. Oh, have I once again only drawn 1 money-creating card? I could have sworn you had loads of cash, Sharon. This is grim.
She did. you've not found verbal plasticity here. And what that means is you've been drawing like one card a turn, not finding any money.
I'm going to say at this point that Jinteki.net might actually have taken offence to me at some point. Because the random generator on here is poo. It's poo. It's poo. I never get any money. If I'm the corp, I never get any ice. I don't... Oh, I see. Oh! Interesting. What are you? What are you there? That's got to be an Urtica cipher. Because I can't imagine you trash anything else without advancing it. Interesting.
Would this make you more interested, Dave?
Less, in fact. Less interested. Correct.
What if I did this?
Sure. Less interested. I'm going to run you out of cards, Sharon Gill. That's how this is going to work.
Let's see you do that with your 5 credits, Dave.
9 credits, Sharon. I saved a little.
Okay.
I finally, the cryptocurrency I invested in has gone back into the green. Still not above where I started, is it really? But it's getting there. I'm not going to be able to stop you at this rate, I don't think.
Well.
Oh. Seamless lunch. Did you just advance some skunkworks?
Judge.
This is a classic fake out.
That's what you get for going for the champagne hedge fund before playing the seamless launch.
It's just because I wanted to be a dick, really. What? I've got my goddamn megalith line.
Wow. Let's have a look at what we had left in there. Brutal. Bit of cash.
I feel like this deck, I was constantly on edge, not knowing if the next card would be the card I really needed.
Yeah, absolutely.
This style of deck... Sorry, Sharon, I've talked all of you, though. Because this deck needs, as well as remote safety, it also needs R&D safety. As you showed against Dave, if you can get R&D lock, you can't draw into your agendas to score them. So putting up a big pile of ice on the remote is one thing, but you also need a pile of remote ice or other defences on R&D to keep people out of there so that you can then draw the ice and stick it into server 1. So you almost want to leave HQ wide open because there shouldn't be much sticking around in there for very long. The two key parts are R&D and server 1.
That is the plan.
Yeah.
Nice. Well played.
Your
deck seems this deck you're playing with here seems really strong, like as a concept. Like whoever put that together.
I feel like you were unlucky because you didn't get the money card, so you spent so many.
I didn't get the money card, and also is there only one verbal plasticity in here somewhere?
No, there should be.
No, there's 2. Yeah, there's 2. There's 2. Maybe I needed to concentrate more on just basic.
If you look at the card draw you've had so far, you've had no verbal plasticities and 1 VR-cation after after a half of your deck. That's quite unlucky.
I really need a word with the developer of Jinteki.net about their random seeding, because I feel like this has happened to me every game at least, and it's only sheer misplays that have allowed me to get lucky, and I will happily have a boxing match against the man who programmed, or woman who programmed, or other who programmed Jinteki.net, because this is some bullshit. Is what it is.
Dave, you still have the
I will fight
stats
them.
window. We can tell you were really unlucky. I only had to get a credit by click once. You had to get credits by clicks 21 times. That is
a casual 21 times. A casual 21 times.
You had to throw down the drain just to get money.
What?
Yeah.
This was a rip-off. This was a rip-off. Mark, is there any way for me to bring up the end screen if I've closed it in a fit of pique?
Do you want me to screenshot it and put it somewhere?
No, not really.
No, you can't get back to the stat screen from within the game, no.
Right, in that case, I've got 2 reasons to fight the developers.
If what you can do actually is if you go to if you leave the game and then go to stats at the top, it'll then show you that you have. It'll then have that game that you've just played and the bit on the right hand side, and you can click view log on there.
Oh, hang on. I think I need to leave the game. Oh no! Wait! I left it. I went back onto the screen. Let's see that again.
That's even spicier technology.
Stats. Back in. Boom. Okay. Fight's over.
Ooh,
They win.
that.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Well,
However,
if you'd have carried on further down this route, we'd have to start calling you Captain America, and that is a very, very niche reference.
that's America's ass.
Captain America was a username of a Jinteki user a long time ago, possibly even before the current developers were working on it back in the olden days, who went absolutely ballistic and quit the game because he said that the shuffling whatever algorithm on Jinteki was not random enough.
Correct. Correct. I stand with Captain America. If he wants, I'll assemble. I will assemble with him. And I tell you what, we'd be a team and a half. Yeah, me and Cap. Yeah, I'm ready to take him down. I'm just bitter.
Okay.
I wasn't robbed. I wasn't robbed at
Dave,
all.
This feeling that you've got right now, that's pretty much how I feel every time I play against Mark.
That's the only reason I win. I know the developers, and I've rigged it so
Pay to win. It's pay to
when
win.
I'm playing against you two, it's.
I think I should have been a lot happier to draw over my hand size and get rid of cards into my heap.
At some point,
that's what CMSV2 said as well, suggested as well.
It's more my biggest danger with your deck is that you A, outscore me by going ham, or B, super protect a meat sniper and take me out. If I've got 5 cards in hand, that's going to be really easy to spot because you're going to need 6 advancements on that. Yeah. Which actually is 1 turn for you with 3 of the seamless launches, but yeah, I don't know.
I did have
another thing that you have to work out as you get more experience, and it's something I particularly struggle with as well, is sometimes you have to throw away cards that you feel like you need and you want to keep hold of because they're not the right cards for you now.
Yeah.
So if you've got no money and no draw, no basic engine set up, you having these 3 breakers that you definitely need to install, but filling up your hand, is like, well, they're no good because I can't afford to install them.
For sure. Yeah.
If you've got other ways, if you've got additional copies of them, or other ways of reinstalling them later, which you don't have in Gateway, but you will have in the future. It's like, you've just got to throw them away until you've got some money, till you've got set up, and then you'll be able to play playing the game you wish you could play doesn't get you anywhere.
Yeah, of course. I'm not too precious about the stuff that's in my hand as it goes. I've learned that lesson a long time ago from a game called a game type in Magic called Commander, where you have 100 single cards, and every time one comes up, it looks like the nuts. But most of them are really expensive, and you're going to have to wait turns, and by that point the board's going to be cleared down, and if you get precious about any part of your deck, I can guarantee you that someone's going to mill it out or get rid of it or ditch it in order to try and get an advantage on you in some other way. So you just have to become less caring about those individual cards. If they get rid of one part of some sort of death engine that you've built, who cares? There'll be others. There are other opportunities. Yeah, you play the game that you're playing, not the game that you wish you could play. Yeah.
Is it the ID called Max X? That's what someone in Jessica Ye in the chat just said. That helps you take.
Does Max X allow a bunch of killing your? Oh no, stay on page.
If you want to go, are we able to flick back to NRDB, Dave?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I'll do.
Oh yeah.
If you just type Max in, you'll see it from there.
That was a good game though, Dave, and I'm sorry that you didn't get the draws that you were hoping for.
No, that's fine. Oh,
I don't know why it's being funky and slow loading for you, but
Trash 2.
That's the cool back screen.
Trash 2, draw 1.
So Max's ID ability is at the start of your turn, throw 2 of your cards away, and then draw 1 automatically like you're the corp.
Solid. Like you're the corp.
So it's super fast, and all your cards just go in. Whoa in the bin, whoa in the bin, whoa in the bin.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Now, in the olden days, you used to have a card called Leviat Web Access, which said when you could play to shuffle your whole heap back into your deck. So the whole thing with Max was, oh, don't worry about it. I'll sort of cherry pick as we go through until we get to the end, and then I'll shuffle it all back in, and I'll start all over. Well, we've taken Levy out of the game now, so now when you're playing Max, it's a lot more selective because you're only going to have access to maybe like 33% of your cards throughout the course of the game. So you've got to make sure that those cards are good enough to get what you want to be. Now, as hard as that sounds, the best runner deck right now is Max.
For sure.
Oh, really?
Because it has a lot of different virus-based options for breaking cards, for doing anything with, but primarily obviously as your breakers. And it also has a card called Hive Mind, if Dave wants to pull that up for us.
Here we go.
And this is a rather innocuous looking card, but it's also kind of bonkers. So.
Oh, whoa! Oh, we were! What? What? Sure.
Yeah.
+1 on everything. Okay, cool.
Any
yeah.
virus tokens that are on Hive Mind are counted as being on every other card.
Sure.
So if there's 5 virus counters on Hive Mind, as there might be some point in the game, that means your conduit has 5 extra virus counters on it. Your leeches have 5 extra virus counters on it. Your botulus has 5 extra virus counters on it. So long as they're able to get that card on the table, along with all the other options that are available to them, they can just make them be strong enough to get through into what needs to happen.
Sure.
What they need to win, even though all the other cards are in the bin.
So you need to be able to place counters on Hive Mind separate of Hive Mind's abilities because it doesn't accrue it itself, right? But I'm sure
Right.
there are tons of ways of doing that in Standard.
Yes, indeed.
But there are some viruses that don't get rid of their counters to work, like Conduit, which when you run R&D counts the number of virus counters. And if they're considered hosted, then you count those ones, and you count Conduit's ones as well.
Mm-hmm.
Seems pretty strong. Seems pretty
It
strong.
was pretty good.
And then after that turn, if you do end up using it for botulism, well, who cares? You know, you're still getting one on your regular conduit, and you can probably plug more onto Hivemind.
Well, the thing that you'll quickly learn about conduit is you can't let it have counter on it for long.
No.
So by the time it gets to like 3 or 4 counters, you've got to be purging him away.
I was waiting for the turn to purge when Sharon was playing it. I was waiting that next turn. I was like, do I purge this turn or do I purge next turn?
Well,
I'll purge next turn.
That trap as well. I absolutely have.
12
and
cards
I was
down.
going to suggest to purge, but I also really wanted to win.
Yeah, and what this deck does, though, it has so many ways of recovering virus counters very quickly that you could basically spend every turn purging, then you can't win.
Why would Hivemind be overlooked? Well, what about it prior to Gateway made it kind of less
because
strong?
There's a recent sort of run of cards that have allowed you to recover from being purged a lot faster than you previously could. So as you've noted, there's no way of getting virus counters on Hivemind. You've got to do other things to kind of cheat them there.
Yeah.
Well, no, there is a lot of ways of... You can put it on a progenitor, so even when you purge, it still keeps a virus counter on it. You can use Knobkiri, that every time you make a run, you put a virus counter on it. You can use Virus Breeding Grounds, that every time your turn starts, you can put a virus counter on it. And that collective mass of things that will put on or let you move virus counters around has suddenly made it... like from nowhere, from as Jessica says, a binder fodder card into an essential part of the most the strongest deck.
Grim.
Well, on this note, though, of looking at extra cards, Dave, if you could flick us back to slideshow mode.
Slideshow, love it.
Ah, you mean slideshow mode?
I do.
Slideshow
and then we can
Bob.
have a look at card at slide 4, the infamous.
Here we go.
Slide 4. So this is the breakdown of the different formats you can play in Netrunner at the moment. Now, what isn't included in there is Gateway, because Gateway doesn't really need an explanation. Gateway is just the cards in Gateway.
Gotcha.
And as of right now, you are fully certified, signed off. You know every card that is in System Gateway.
Do I get a certificate?
It can be arranged, I'm sure.
Excellent.
No need to put caveats in the title of games I start when I want to play with strangers.
You can play System Gateway now, and if they rock up with their own deck within the System Gateway format, you will know what all the cards are and be able to play your own decks against them.
Love it. But again, it's always like a punt, isn't it? Because we won't know what their approach is.
Oh, no. But you'll at least know what the cards do. You can look at their ID ability. You can say, okay, that might be doing this or it might be doing that. It'll give you some sense of what they're up to. Not everything. And then as the game progresses and you see more and more of their cards, then you start saying, oh, I think I would have put this card in that deck. I bet they're trying to do something like this. And just that awareness makes it a lot easier than playing against completely blind cards.
I like it. Now, looking at this slide here, so there are only two main, or I say 3 main groups of cards that you play with: Startup, Standard, and Eternal. Is that fair?
Yes, and Eternal's only a side format, as it's described. We don't play it very often.
So, but within the Startup and Standard, there are different groups. However, if you're playing a standard game, you might face cards from any of those groups.
Yeah, absolutely. So the format we're playing at the moment is Gateway, and that's just the System Gateway decks. Once you graduate from there, and I'm not saying you have to do that yet, you can have a lot of fun just playing with the cards within System Gateway. But once you graduate from there, you go up to Startup. Now at Startup, you use those System Gateway decks, as you can see. You also use System Update 21, which is the other pack of cards that has arrived in Dave's house just previously. And you also use the Ashes cycle, which is 2 other packs of cards that are available from Nisei. And that is I think in total though it's about 230 cards in the card pool at that point. And that is a very healthy, varied competition at that point. There are a lot of different play styles, a lot of different IDs and cards and stuff, and you could have years of fun probably playing within the startup format. And as I've whispered to you before, I actually think startup's a lot more fun than standard right now.
Can I just a quick question then? So if I go and set up a new game in Jinteki and the format System Gateway, I could actually see cards that we've not seen from Ashes or System Update.
If you put the format as startup, you could see cards you haven't seen right now. If you put the format as System Gateway, that's only cards from System Gateway.
Okay. So I'm looking at the format drop-down list on Jinteki when you're starting a new game.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Standard, that makes sense. System Gateway, which is the cards we've now gone through, all of them. Startup, which includes the System Gateway cards plus System Update and Ashes.
Right.
And then Eternal, which is one of those side decks. Snapshot and Snapshot Plus, which relate to World Championship deck.
Oh, Snapshot is a very even more niche than Eternal. Snapshot is if you kind of refuse to acknowledge that Nisei exists, and you only want to play with FFG cards.
Oh.
So, Snapshot is the cards that were legal going into the last ever World Championships in 2018, and then Snapshot Plus includes the last 7, I think it is, cards that FFG ever printed that they gave away at the World Championships, but were never actually legal under the FFG umbrella.
That's really exciting, though. Now, okay, 2 more questions. What's classic format?
Classic format doesn't exist. Kind of. Classic format was a kind of redo of some of the cards to make them different. So it's kind of a really very probably even more niche than Snapshot.
Okay. And then casual?
Casual
means all bets are off. I'm playing whatever cards I want.
Casual means I can play these cards, Sharon. These cards that I got from my friend Joe, who
from the original core set
supplied me with the OG box. Yeah.
Essentially, casual is like Eternal, but with even fewer rules. So there are very, very few rules in Eternal. There are no rules in casual. But what casual allows you to do, for example, is if you've got that original core set that Dave has just showed, and you've never bought any cards since then, and you've no intention of doing, and you want to play on Jinteki.net with just with the cards you know, you can say, okay, then we'll have a casual game using these cards that we know, but they don't fit into any current official play format.
Casual usually includes a bunch of it's got all of the banned cards like options, like if people don't agree with ban lists as well, and they're like, well, I don't think this card really got like a good look in before it got banned. Let's see what's so evil about it, right? You can have a little play with it and find out why it's the worst thing to play against in the world ever on your own, which just
Oh,
kind of
we often
playing with mates,
If
isn't it?
if you unbanned all the banned cards, would it just even out?
no. It would just make it for. Well, I don't know. I'm not the person to ask on this because I've never played a game of Eternal in my life because it just sounds horrendous to me. But what you get is an increasing level of cards that are unpleasant to play against.
Shenanigans.
So yeah, it's how busted my combo or my way of playing can be against how busted your way of playing can be, and they don't so much just cancel each other out as a race to who can do it first.
Yeah.
I mean, some people like it.
That is
I'm
a
not one of them.
fantastic sounding format.
Yeah.
There's a format like that in Magic called Legacy, which contains all of the cards pretty much, with a few exceptions. There are a chunk of cards that are too evil for Legacy, and that works. That works as a format, but what happens is you tend to get a lot of decks that win in 1 or 2 turns. And so the games can be very short, or they can be one person playing solitaire for 3 minutes on their own whilst their deck goes off on turn 2, and you have nothing that you can do against it. Yeah, and that's, I guess, Eternal must be pretty similar.
Yeah, well, Jessica's just saying in chat, Eternal at the moment is dominated by a deck that wins on turn 4.
Turn 4, yeah.
So
I want that.
They're kind of often like a puzzle solving format, because your goal is to solve the game almost. So you kind of end up with some real jank combos coming out that are horrible to play and horrible to play against.
So the reason I've got this on the screen now is to say in overly dramatic fashion, we have finished learning Gateway now.
What?
That doesn't mean that's the end of we have to stream because we're going to talk about more about that in a second. But at some point we'll do essentially a season 2 where we'll learn how to play Startup, and we'll look at some of the big cards that you need to be aware of. Well, probably all of the cards through system updates and through the Ashes cycle. But that is learning another 150 cards, so that's a big undertaking in itself.
That is.
So that's for the future. In the short-term future, next week we have a very special event to round up season 1, and I don't want to give too much away. I want to let that hype train keep chewing, or whatever they say in these situations.
Take a guess.
But the one thing that we will say, and I think Sarah mentioned it earlier to somebody who was asking in chat, next week's stream might be later than usual. There's some stuff going on that day that might mean that it'll be 8:30, 9 o'clock before we're online. Hopefully that won't be the case, but it's possible. But we will definitely be back next Wednesday with a grand finale to season 1.
I am so looking forward to it, and I will do my best to make sure that we are at Super Saiyan speed, within the national speed limits, of course, on the roads that we drive, to keep us as close to 7:30 as possible.
Cool.
Okay, and on that hype-related bombshell, I think it's probably time for us to wrap up tonight's stream. So thank you very much for everyone who's joined us, the regular viewers and the new ones as well.
And thanks for the tips.
Absolutely.
And
we'll
to the
see
bots.
you all next week.